Furry, name's Banjo.
And I'm Harvey.
And welcome to episode 11 of the BARQcast, a podcast produced by BARQ, a furry social app for furries by furries, in case you didn't know.
And with us today, we have two amazing fuzzies, our rotating hosts, OK Donuts, and past person that was on, episode number 1. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now you're back for number
Only OGs
11.
remember.
Yo, OGs now. And then with us today, our guest for this episode, Ivycomb. Welcome on in.
Yay! Okay, let's calm down.
Sorry.
Let's calm down.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get excited again.
Yay!
Oh,
we have fun
welcome
here.
to the BARQcast. It's so nice to have you. Ivy, I don't think I've ever heard anybody as requested to be on the BARQcast as you. Not almost every, but a lot of guests have been like, you gotta get Ivy on
True.
here. I'm like, what's so special about Ivycomb? What's so special about this Ivycomb?
Yeah, why are you special, man?
And then, yeah. So I actually think I know. I think it's the question mark that becomes your eye. I'm obsessed with this.
You're obsessed with the.
There it is! I love when that happens.
Bazinga!
Off stream, Banjo was for the past 30 minutes has been constantly harassing Ivy to try to get an answer out of them about the question mark eye, and they weren't budging. They still haven't told them.
You're gonna get me canceled.
Well, you can't ask questions that like you're not prepared to hear the answers to. You know what I mean?
Come on, let me just
know
see
about
your,
the war I fought in? Do you know about my lore? Do you know about the war?
The Great Furry War of Furries and Gamers?
Like
no.
A real war or like?
Not a real war, but like, well, I mean, it's a real war to Ivy the character.
Wait, you actually have like war lore?
Yeah.
Wait, can we hear this?
Intergalactic planetary war.
You're an alien?
Ivy's planet was invaded by humans.
What?
And they what's it called? They were mining for resources and just kind of not caring about the natural or like the natural order of things on the planet.
It's fucked up.
And a lot of the local species fought back, but it's basically like pre-industrial human level civilization versus spacefaring like hyperdrive level civilization. So they got destroyed, and Ivy didn't want to be involved, but Ivy lost their eye, this one, and has a cybernetic eye now. He has a lot of other lore.
Whoa.
So it's like a screen. That explains a lot of things.
Wait, that's sense. So cool.
I was like, how is that happening?
Now I need to come up with war lore.
Yeah, I don't have any lore for.
Yeah. Are you really
I have a 200-page document outlining a lot of the lore I have.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I haven't shown it to anybody, not even the people that are working with me on the animated series that we're starting soon.
What the fuck?
You have an Ivycomb the show?
Dude, there's so much to talk about.
Wait,
oh my god.
Hold on. Slow down, guys. My hat is like blown off my head in like 5 miles down
grab
the road.
it, dude, grab it.
Ready for this.
Wow. Okay. So you have 200 pages worth of lore. Are you like a story writer, or like do you have history in this, or are you just like?
I mean, like I'm an okay writer. I think like it really depends on your perspective, because I did writing as my like career for about a year, and then I started doing like the Twitch stream thing full time, but like I've been making like YouTube videos and stories since I was like 7. So it's been a very, very long time that I've been like that kind of thing for. And just in general, like I like writing and I like telling stories. So it's like Twitch streaming is something that like a fair few people know me for, but like it's kind of just a side thing, and it's not really what I want to do as my career. Like I don't want to be a Twitch streamer forever. I don't even want to be a Twitch streamer for a long time. I want to eventually be able to just stream entirely for fun on like a completely fuck off random schedule, and just like focus more on the things I really want to do, which is I want to work on animations and music, and like also just kind of videos, but mostly the former two are the main things. But yeah, I've been like The big thing is like Ivy's lore is part of an overarching story that I've been working on since about 2014.
Oh my! What the?
And at one point, it was going to be the official Protogen lore, but then I ended up so I don't know if you found this out in your research, but I actually was for those that don't know, the Protogen species was created by Cool Koinu, and Cool Koinu is a very close personal friend of mine, and we actually originally met because I won the original Primogen auction back in 2016, and I ended up helping Koinu run the Protogen community for like 4.5 years as the head admin of the Protogen community, and I left because I was tired of being harassed.
Wait,
what do you mean harassed? You were harassed because you were the head admin?
Wait, are there admins for different species? Is this?
Well, it was like more about the community side of it. So like I ran the official Discord server and like a bunch of the official social media accounts with a few other people, but I oversaw the rest of the team and like kind of organized things and just help people out with all that and like did moderation and whatnot. But yeah, no, I just didn't want to. I got tired of it and wanted to move on to doing other things. So I like this was in like the 2010s, by the way. Like all this was before I was even Ivycomb.
So okay, wait. So how long have you been in the fandom for?
Like 14.5 years.
Holy balls, dude.
It's why when it it doesn't happen often, but I sometimes get accused of being like a like someone who just came in random to like, you know, just for clout.
Reap the benefits.
Like, I've been in the fandom for longer than a lot of these people that like give me shit for like not being true to the furry spirit have been, dude, and like I'm very passionate about it.
I think you've been in the fandom for longer than some of them have been alive.
I probably have. I mean, oh, dude, I've definitely been in the fandom longer than the average Protogen has been alive. So like, you know.
I mean, yeah. Like Donuts, how long have you been in the fandom for? Like a few years?
For about as long as I can remember, honestly. Sometime in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'd say.
Wait.
Was when I joined up.
Okay. I feel like I'm like.
How old are you?
Around the same age. Yeah. So it's like I just you know, it's, well, like so I didn't like represent myself and the fandom up until recently.
Well,
like,
no, yeah, but you were just like part of it.
I liked it and I loved it from a distance.
Well, if you want to go by that metric, then like my whole life. But like,
yeah,
actively being in the fandom. Actively being in the fandom, I've been in since 2010.
What constitutes being in the fandom though? So like having an account. Like
I would say like representing yourself as a furry. Like
I feel like that, and like having a Sona as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah, 2022.
Okay.
Like, dude, obviously, like I don't think we mean it in like a gatekeepy way. It's more just like a.
No, man, you're fake. You're fake.
We've all like I think that most of us who are furries like have always liked fluffy animals.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so like if we go by that metric, we've all been furries for most of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, and I've always thought furries were neat, but yeah, I didn't start engaging with it until I was like 10, which I know is still pretty early, but like I was also at one point like an anti-furry, but like
everyone was.
It was because but I was in it was definitely in like a I wish that I could do this thing kind of way rather than in I've been indoctrinated into the hatred cult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I've been actively in the fandom for like 4-5 years now, but like I've always known about it. I've always found interest in it for like, you know, like maybe like 10 or so years. You know, like when I was little, I used to role play like warrior cats and stuff. So.
Oh my, real?
Yeah.
Did you roleplay warrior cats?
I roleplayed warrior cats on a Minecraft server back in like 2011. That's a server called the Eternal Forest.
Dude,
warrior cats. What I gotta look this up now.
You don't know warrior cats?
You don't know what warrior cats is?
No, I've heard you mention it before, but I've never actually looked into it.
It's oh my god. Wait, that's so funny. You did Minecraft. See, because I never knew. I was not that deep into the internet back then, so I didn't know about that kind of shit. But like, you know, like it was just like during like resets. Like me and my friends would just like we have our own OCs and shit. I don't remember who I was, but like you know, good times.
Look at this guy had friends in school.
I feel like Harvey. I feel like you were the type of kid who had a very tight leash on like his internet access and like game access in general.
I mean, the first like gun game I played was kind of like Fortnite when it first came out. My mom never let me play any gun games. I was like strictly like a Nintendo kid, which I still am. But I dabble in more mature games now. But yeah, I was kind of restricted. I was funnily enough, you know, I had the like classic like 2-hour time limit on video games when I was a kid, but the way we measured it is I had a bunch of stones, like gemstones on my desk, and like each one represented like a different amount of time. So I'd go to my mom and be like, I'm using my like 20-minute stone, and I'm gonna play for 20 minutes today, and I would give it to her, and so I could go in for 20 minutes, and then I'd be kicked off. So my mom was like very, very restrictive on.
Wow.
So your mom was Thanos. Got it.
She was collecting all the stones. So yeah.
I never heard of that before. The stone system.
The stones, dude. Back in the old days, man, cavemen did the same thing. So you know, just going back to the classics.
True.
Got to use the stones.
So Ivycomb, you said you like telling stories. Is that also something that like drives you to make music? Because if you guys don't know, Ivycomb is a music bee.
I like making music quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
No, you're right. There
is it like story-driven stuff a lot of the times.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of my songs do tell stories that are self-contained, or they're what's it called? Sometimes like overarching stories. It really depends a lot on the individual song itself. Like a really good example is what's it called? Anti-Human is a series of songs that I've been working on. And they are an overarching story. Like they're all connected to each other. There's an official playlist. It's called Anti-Human Lore, I think. Where is it? Yep. It's just called Anti-Human Lore. If you look up Anti-Human Lore on YouTube, it will be the first result. And it has the 6 songs that are all a part of Anti-Human Lore. And it is effectively there is a city called the Golden City. And in it, there is a scientist. His name is Gran, and he is studying gene splicing and like just rewriting, kind of like if I think it's called Cas9 was like insane and like cracked as hell. But effectively he wants to turn people into furries.
Nice.
Okay.
And like it's I'm giving a very surface level synopsis of it, but like the data reject is about one of his early subjects that like is effectively like a failure, you could say. And the character's name is Vanilla Milkshake. And it's like I don't want to get too into it because a lot of this is stuff that I like. A lot of stuff I want to talk about is stuff that we haven't actually like revealed yet. So it's like,
okay, can I be Jimmy Fallon for a second? Can I be Jimmy Fallon for a second? Okay, no, not that part. Can you? What's like one little sliver you can tell us? Like, what's something that'll like want us to come back to it when it's out? Like something. Give us something.
There's a song coming out for a character that people have been talking about for a while because she's appeared in the background of other songs. We have a morale song in the works right now. And for any of if any of my fans happen to be watching this that are like my hardcore fans, you'll hear morale song and be like,
ooh,
yippee! Yeah, I sorry. I realized that some people might be just listening to that. The wacky hand gesture.
Yeah, to our audio listeners,
Morale,
Ivy shook his hands up into the air.
Is Morale like a fan favorite?
Morale is like a pretty. She's a character that like a lot of people are intrigued by, but like I wouldn't say necessarily a fan favorite because like she's only been a background character. I think that like Mocha is a fan favorite character because people like big fluffy dragons, so it's it's an easy bias.
True.
People do love big fluffy dragons. Is it one of those cases where it's like I guess like the first example that comes to mind is like G-Man, where it's like the less you know about him, like the more interesting the character is, or like you want to know more? Is it kind of like that type of vibe with?
Maybe. I think that there's some of that. Like a lot of people are very intrigued by Anti-Human because they want to know more about it, but like because of my chosen vessel of you know releasing the lore, it's like it can be sometimes a few months between Anti-Human songs, so people have to kind of like bide their time and wait for the next one to come out, and like you know you hope that everything is going to be really really interesting. But I like letting things unveil in small little bits because it keeps people hooked. And also part of it is that like I mentioned it earlier, my team and I are starting to work on what is effectively going to be the pilot for an Anti-Human animated series, and we're going to be unveiling a lot in that. But like again, it's meant to be a framework to kind of see if like it will gain enough notoriety and hence make enough money to actually be viable to like work on. Because like I don't know how much you guys know about it or how much the average person in chat might know about it or watching at home, listening in their car, going to work at Microsoft in Washington. The what's it called? If you're unaware, animation is expensive and time consuming. And I have one team member that works for me like pretty much full time, and I have a side team that will work occasionally. But I have another person who I'm bringing on as a part-time like team member to do 3D work for Anti-Human Inc. And like also I have to pay my bills, and my time is included in this too, because you know all these things. Like overall, our cost for this one video, which is gonna be around 10 minutes long, a 10-minute animated project multimedia, is gonna probably be costing like between 10 and 25,000 US dollars.
Yeah,
so it's
like,
and honestly, like I'm probably undershooting it a little bit. But like some people have said, oh, you should do like fully animated music videos, and I'm like, those are expensive. Like,
but they're so cool.
Right now, on average, Ivycomb music video costs around $1,200 to $1,500.
Oh my!
Like, it is not cheap. And even when I was just starting out and our scale was smaller and everything, no, Anti-Human Inc. is going to be 4 songs. Like, it's effectively going to be one really long animated music video. I just wanted to make that clear because I caught something in the corner of my eye that made me realize I should clarify that. But with that in mind, like it is expensive and time consuming, and I would really like to do cool stuff with it, but like it's already expensive to run the channel as is. When it was brand new and I just brought Lovecut V onto my team, which is my artist, like they were not being paid as much as they are now, because I've given them a raise over time. And also, like, you know, we were doing a little bit less than we do now. Like, now we do a much bigger scale projects. Like, back then, I was operating Ivycomb Music at, like, an insane loss. Like, I was losing thousands of dollars working on Ivycomb Music. And so, like, it is a passion of love. It's a project of passion.
In it for the love of the game. That's yeah, that seems hella expensive.
Like, could I do it cheaper? Absolutely, I could do it cheaper. But I care a lot about the people I work with, and also like I care a lot about the work that I'm doing. So it's, you know, I see it as a worthwhile investment. Like VTuber models are also expensive, as I'm sure like, you know, there's at least one person here who I know definitely has some direct experience with that.
Yeah. But is your model right now like completely custom?
Yes, this Ivy model was done by 2 very talented 3D artists, Sappa, SAPA, and Givenchy Art, who is the person I'm actually bringing on to work. They did the rework of this. Like he did all the rework to make this model look better, like and just kind of update it. He's gonna be doing another update of it soon as well, actually. But like, this model is one of my cheaper models, and I'm pretty sure I spent in total about $600 on it. So,
that sounds about right for a custom VTuber model. I feel like.
I mean, a few of my peers I know have spent like over $3,000.
Oh yeah.
There's something. It can be more expensive.
It can get very. It's pretty much just like a digital fursuit.
It's a digital first.
It's a digital first.
well,
it can get up there.
I would argue in some ways like that VR chat models and like VTuber models can actually be more interesting than fursuits in the sense that like there's a lot more expressiveness in what you can do with them. Because like I love fursuiting, don't get me wrong. I actually have 2 fursuit commissions in progress right now.
Nice.
But I what's it called? I genuinely just like I love VR chat, man. I love being able to like, you know, be so many different little guys. And like face tracking, man. It is a game changer if you ever used it.
100%.
I love my Vive Pro Eye, and I am glad that I bought one when I did because they are skyrocketing in price constantly.
Yep. Yep. I have
a question.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of unrelated, but how many little guys would you say you are, like in one, if you had to give an estimate?
Well, it depends on what you mean by that. Like, are you asking about my mental illness or about my persona population?
Ivy, I know you didn't come here for a gotcha interview, but you're getting a gotcha question. It's quite simple, okay? How many little guys are you?
There is nuance to this question that needs to be specified
guys.
before
Dude,
I answer.
how many little guys?
Question.
Wow.
It's simple. How many?
Like, it's somewhere between 20 and 35.
Okay.
Writing that down.
Depending on whether we count personas or not.
Oh my god, do you have 35 personas?
I have 31 personas.
What? How do you keep track? What?
I have a document.
What?
But like a lot of them are for my individual alters. And like a few of them are more broad that like we all kind of use together. But recently we had a revelation, and like I think that I have an actual persona for the first time in like over 10 years. Like just one that like actually works, and I'm so happy about it. Because I didn't ask to have like constant dissociative problems and mental illness. I didn't ask for that.
Yeah, no one does.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps you create better art?
Yes.
Interesting. Wait.
I think that being mentally ill and having trauma is like a banger thing to have for like artistic expression.
But then,
Yeah,
but not a good thing to have, you know, in total. But like, you know, for the creative side,
I'm actively in therapy. Like I talk about it very funny, but like, you know, I struggle with a lot actually. I struggle with my identity. I struggle with anxiety related to my trauma, and like I've had to over the years like get better at handling certain triggers that like kind of send me into like panic attacks. And to be clear, like I'm pretty much fine these days on that front at least, but like I am a relatively stable but still mentally ill person, and like one thing, you know, I think is important is I think it's important to have open talks about mental health and understand that like you can be happy and live a good life and like by some metrics of a successful life and still be mentally ill and actively in therapy. There's this weird like connotation I see online sometimes that like, oh, this person seems to be happy, therefore they're not really mentally ill. And it's like, dude, you gotta understand, man. I keep my crying off camera. You know what I'm saying?
You wear a mask, a smile. You wear a mask for hours at a time.
Like Dream.
Yeah. If I ever become a Minecraft YouTuber, please shoot me in the head 36 times.
Okay, it's not that
exactly
bad.
36, no more, no less.
It's not that bad.
So what do you mean, dude? I don't want to be placing blocks and shit because I'm in fucking Minecraft. Okay, man. Like
if I can ask candidly, so the condition you're talking about, I believe, is it DID? Is that the
dissociative identity disorder?
Okay. It's just for anybody in chat who doesn't understand, and myself included. What does that exactly mean? Can you give us a little bit of idea of what that's like?
So, dissociative identity disorder is a disorder that forms in childhood due to trauma. And that is a little bit broad because it can vary a lot, but like it's usually either repeat trauma or like very severe trauma, like a kind of an inciting incident. Basically, like it can be a canon event.
Right.
Like I'm being very literal about that. Like a very traumatic, like insane thing happens. And what happens is it prevents that child from actually being able to form one distinct identity / personality, whatever word you want to use for it. The thing is, when every human being on Earth, when you are a child, your brain actually has compartmentalized personalities. And the reason for that is like you have basically like different ways of responding to people because you're learning how the world works and you need to take in a lot of information, and it can be very overwhelming. And because of how complicated our brains are, everyone on Earth when they were younger was effectively more than one version of the same like kid. Right. When you get between the ages of 9 and 12, your brain starts to change because you're starting to enter the early stages of puberty, and during that your brain chemistry changes, and all of those end up merging to form one relatively cohesive person. People with DID have brains that don't do that. So as a result, some of these people will end up having that part of their brain be locked in for the rest of their life. In other cases, it can become very like fluid, and it will what that means is basically like you can form new alters over time as needed. And the reasons for that are very vast and way beyond the scope of a quick TLDR. But in short, like I am in one of the middle areas where my there's no like typings of DID. It literally is such a broad disorder that like trying to characterize it with typings would be an ineffective way of like characterizing it. But me personally, I have 21 alters, and like an alter means a different part of the brain, different what you would have been called personalities in the olden days when it was still called multiple personality disorder, which is very outdated. Don't use that. But basically like there's so much to it. It's really hard to kind of like condense this, but in short, like there instead of there being one single Ivycomb, there are actually 21 Ivycombs that are all a little bit different from each other. Whoa. And like some of my headmates, my alters are transgender and some of them are not. And like what's funny is trying to explain to people that like in my brain there's a cis woman, like literally just straight up like she is a woman, and like she doesn't consider herself trans. She's just like, yep, I am a woman. I'm just in this body with these other people.
Whoa, that's yeah. You see in chatting, it's all a hive mind.
That's all a hive mind. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah,
that's
like Ivycomb.
I have not heard about this. Like this is new to me. This is really cool. This is.
I mean, like the big thing too is that it's a covert disorder most of the time. So like, people generally, you won't know that someone has DID by just talking to them.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is that DID, like I said, it's covert disorder. Most DID systems don't even know they have it until later in life, because. A lot of the time, like the way that things manifest through like, because one of the things that happens is dissociative amnesia, where you are emotionally disconnected from events, and sometimes you literally have massive gaps in your memory. I don't remember anything from like when I was 6 to when I was 10. I don't remember anything.
What?
No memory.
Whoa.
And like that varies between alters. Like some of my alters don't remember our teenage years at all, like genuinely. Which the thing is like we know that those memories are there, but we can't remember them, and trying to can be distressing sometimes because it's like I have a vague, like it's like recalling a movie, but a movie you've seen 1,000 times and you for some reason can't remember any of it.
Oh,
that's what it's like.
What
and it is it can be very distressing at times. It's like it's not really a fun disorder to have, but it's also like when I've been asked if I'd want to like become a singlet, like one person before, and I'm like, I don't think I could do that because I grew up being plural, and just the fact that I didn't know I was plural for many years doesn't mean that like I would know how to live as one person, because it feels like trying to fit myself into a mold I don't fit into. The Ivycomb goes in the square hole.
Yay! So wow, okay, so that's kind of like why you have like 30 personas, is because each of them is like a different alter of you.
Yeah, like what's it called? But it's like we have personas for a lot of like our different alters, but not all of us have personas, and like some of us are really strongly attached to our personas and some of us aren't. Like, I know that like Finn has like 2 personas himself, and like he is very, very attached to his little Zoroa character.
Oh,
and,
Zora.
Yeah, and it's very like endearing and funny and cute. But also there's what's it called? Like their Atmo is another one of our alters, and she is a furry like the rest of us are, but she's not like, she likes her Sona and her Sona suits her, but like she doesn't care too much about that because she doesn't really have major identity. Like, we have varying levels of identity crisis in our brain. It varies a lot between us, and so like it's really hard again to describe because there's so much. It's literally like having 21 different people that like are aligned on similar things.
That's so interesting.
I don't say this to put pressure on you. I just think that it's cool that, at least this is the first time I'm hearing this, so you're probably explaining this to like all the, cause like once these clips go out, there's gonna be like a couple thousand TikTok fairies that you're introducing this whole concept to.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no pressure. I think you're doing a good job. I mean, I
think it's really cool. Like you know, it's like again, it's like this is the first time I'm hearing about this, and so it's a very interesting topic to like hear someone who has this talk about. I don't know. So like,
there's a question mark guy.
The question mark guy is here. So like, do you have different like inner monologues or something of like?
Yes, that's a really good question, buddy. Sorry, I didn't mean to like cut you off there.
No, you can answer it.
No, that's a question I get asked very infrequently, and it's one of my favorites to answer because yes, do you no, you don't know, but like, do you know how weird it is trying to explain to people that sometimes I hear thoughts that sound like they're my voice, but the tone is wrong. So I know that they're not coming from me. Like it's, and this applies to like all of me. Like Finn experiences this really badly with some of our headmates. He'll be like just vibing, and then like we'll be talking about something, and like the thought that comes to his mind is entirely different from what he actually would answer with, and then he'll say it, and then he'll be like, I don't know why I said that. That's not right. That's not correct. Like, and to be clear, he could choose to just not say that, but like he's very impulsive, so he hears a thought and he's like, that's correct, that's my thought, I say it. Wait a second, no, that was someone else in my brain. And it's like, wow. It is distinctly different from like hearing voices, because the thoughts are all conscious thoughts that I, the human person, am making, but it's from a separate stream of consciousness. And sometimes there's a thing that DID systems can do called co-fronting, where there are 2 or more alters in front at once, like in front of the headspace, basically controlling everything. That can be very confusing too if you don't have synergy with each other, because it can genuinely, like, you can actually hear your own voice talk over yourself. It's very strange.
That's crazy. Okay.
Someone called me a crazy person with DID once on Twitter, and I'm like, you're so right, but also like I think that like calling it like crazy or saying that it's like really bad or weird or whatever is like not the thing. Because the thing is that like DID causes disorder because it's not how our brains are designed to function. However, it is a trauma response that does typically result in better functioning for those individuals than if it hadn't happened, because of the trauma that causes it. So like, I don't consider DID to be like an illness. It's a disorder. That's for me personally. And like, my thing is that I don't think that like day-to-day life for me is not that much different than like a regular person, because most of the time we're just autopiloting through our day.
Yeah.
But like, it's more identity and personal stuff, and like making big decisions. Those are where it kind of can be a problem. And sometimes the dissociation, because like I can just lose like 4 hours in a day and be like, where am I?
What, have you seen Severance?
No, I haven't seen Severance.
Okay, never mind.
No, that's a good. I think that's
because
relevant.
at least with like Severance, the main thing is that the people in the show have like two different mindsets that they can like switch between the two. And so I don't know, it was like kind of
it's more like two people sharing the same body.
Yeah. Unlike
I mean, like,
all of you sharing at the same time.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like there is definitely like some like parallel that I can draw there on like a fun level, but like it's probably quite different. I have to watch it to make an educated like response about it.
Yeah,
it's a really good show. You should just watch it.
It is a very good show.
But yeah, and then a lot of people that listen to this are probably gonna be like, oh, this sounds like relatable or whatever. So like, how did you go about getting diagnosed with this?
I spoke to several therapists.
Okay.
As goofy as so what I did first was I researched the disorder for about 6 months.
Okay.
I will say, like, if any of you listening to this are hearing me talk on this clip or this podcast and you're like, oh, I think that I might have this, I want you to consider that I'm giving a very shortened down, simplified version of like what it's like, and you should do extensive reading before you would make an assumption about any mental health disorder, but especially DID. Or like,
Ivycomb is not a licensed medical professional.
No, yeah. I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'm banned from 3 hospitals.
That's not real, is it?
What did you do in the hospital?
Medical malpractice.
Oh, and you're not even a doctor. You just walked in and started doing
No,
shit.
I wanted to set a world record, but unfortunately I was stopped before I could try.
And the world record for what?
Lying on a podcast.
Oh my god. You're like Aaron
you got us.
I'm not banned from I'm not banned from anywhere, actually.
Are you sure? You seem to have a criminal record.
Maybe a couple of Discord servers.
I was gonna say maybe a few Twitch streams.
Yeah.
I went on to like some random Twitch stream, like not even furry related, like that was just on my suggested homepage, and I was banned from chat. And I was like, I've literally never seen this streamer before. Like, I don't know why I was banned from it, and like, maybe it's just because I'm a furry. Maybe they saw me in their home and they're like, I hate furries.
That guy went through every furry streamer and banned him just to make sure. No raids, no nothing. They are not infiltrating my community.
This Ivycomb guy is not skibbity enough for my Sigma Riz streams.
This guy's bad for business. I have one more question about alters, right? They're called alters. Like the different like minds or whatever, right?
Those are what those apparitions are called, yes.
Yes.
Those things.
So,
like legendary loot drops in a video game.
So they can like take over like would it be called like the host or like about like your body?
It would be like the body. Is usually what it's referred to as. The host is the alter that is in front the most often and kind of takes like a control of the overall system. So like, a host isn't always in front.
Yes, I see. So. Has that happened to you, and like, what does that feel like?
It happens like, all the time.
Okay. Like you actually like feel it like taking.
What does it feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like being in a human body. One thing that I will say that is pretty unique to DID systems is some of my headmates feel like they are in the wrong skin, like in a very literal sense. Like they can feel like our organs. Not like in a totally literal sense, but like I know for Quill, for example, like Quill is very squid coated and doesn't like human legs. And just like they have no problem walking or doing any regular tasks or anything, but like they just don't feel right being in a human body at all. Like it just doesn't feel natural to them. And a lot of the time, like, they'll complain about their skin feeling itchy, but, like, no matter what they do, like, they can't scratch it away because it's an under-the-surface scratch because, like, they feel like they're kind of a parasite, like, you know, taking control of things. And, like, it's less about, like, how it feels because when you're not in front, you're kind of just, like, there. Like, when right now, like, I am mostly Esther is my name. And like when I'm not around, I'm not like in the back of the brain like watching most of the time. I'm kind of just like my train of thought is still like subconsciously present, but the parts of the brain that make me up are just not actively operating. So like I can still passively influence things, and most of us can passively influence things occasionally, but like when an urge for a switch or like a trigger for a switch happens, like we kind of just switch in, and most of the time we don't notice. Like there's non-possessive switches where a switch just happens and you don't even notice, and you have to ask yourself, wait a second, I'm not that guy. And then there's possessive switches where you definitely know that something has happened. And sometimes it feels like there's like a warmth building up in the front of my skull. And then like it's almost like there's like intangible wind that I know is pushing my body forward, but it doesn't actually move me at all. It's really hard to describe this to people that don't have the disorder. I talked to my other friends who are systems, and they get me what I mean exactly. But like, it's weird to try and describe it to someone that like has no experience with being plural.
Yeah, no, because this is again, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, but it's so interesting. Like I want to like off stream just like research this on my own just to learn more about it.
Can I just like dissect you? Actually,
yeah. Can we just use you as like a little test
writing
subject?
a song about being dissected, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, metaphorically, or
you're a bug. That's what they're
no,
for.
no. Like I'm ready. Like you know, Butcher Vanity by Vanny Lily.
I do.
They say my hunger's a problem. I love that song. It's literal. Like it's literally like rip me open, tear me apart, that kind of song.
Oh my.
I see.
Scary.
And it's not in like the fun, sexy way. It's like
it's just
it has to do with like like some trauma I had when I was younger too, because I was not like dissected or anything, obviously, but like I have some trauma that like kind of feels like that, and so I wanted to write a song about it.
Trauma's always good for songs. That's
you know,
so many of my songs are about trauma.
If nothing else,
yeah.
trauma's good for music.
it's always good for music,
like,
dude.
That I was gonna say, it's like hard for me to just like when I write music, it comes from an emotion, and then like the story forms around that, and it's usually like rooted in like trauma, because I guess that's just like where the strongest stories are, or like where the most interesting things you have to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like music's
So
like
I get that.
a very emotional thing. I feel like it's very hard to come across a song that feels emotionless. Like
yeah, no, that's kind of what draws me to it too. I think like the fact that you can like this like just prescribe an emotion to a listener is fascinating. I think it's a fascinating thing to explore.
it is very fascinating.
You guys know have you guys ever seen the videos where they like have a little chocolate bar and they like pour like hot like cocoa on it, or like hot like coffee on it, and like melt the chocolate bar in it?
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
TikTok slop content.
I love those. I was just like, I have Twitter on my other monitor, and one of them just like popped up on my feed, and I've just been like watching it on loop. And the other night I went to Wawa. Shout out to Wawa if anyone knows what that is. It's a gas station, and I got a hot cocoa and a dark chocolate bar, and I just dipped it in there and like watched it melt, and it was like the best experience of my life. I'm like, wow, TikTok slop is real.
Shit.
Stop! Don't touch donuts,
Guys. Stop fighting. Hey,
Ivycomb.
to audio
The bees
listeners,
are
Oh
bullying
my
me.
god, guys!
fists were thrown. Okay, hey guys, let's remember TikTok
I'm allergic to
slop.
I was talking about chocolate. That's not appropriate.
Guys, do not
okay?
interrupt Banjo. Come on.
Do not interrupt my chocolate spiel.
Don't make him angry.
I wanted to punch donuts.
That's okay. We all do sometimes.
Is that the end of that thought? Is that? I thought you were gonna. Okay.
That's it.
You just wanted to
no
punch me.
reasoning. I just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like you have a good shape, and like I don't know, when I like
I don't
something, I
ruin
want
that
to beat
shape.
it up.
I've been told I'm very punchable. So I don't know what to think
Donuts.
about that.
I think that it would be really funny if you and I did like a crossover, like YouTube short or something at some time, and it's just like it starts out like we would have to do two versions of it, like one for your posting and one for my posting, but mine would start out like either one of my like, I don't know if you've seen any of the animated stuff I've been doing recently.
Dude, those are so cool. I love. Those are like eye
We
candy
pulling
to
up,
me.
Harry?
I could
I was
find.
gonna say I would love to see
You
one,
can.
yeah.
But
you can
like
keep talking.
it could either start as one of those, or it could start as like one of my educational shorts, and then like you just appear, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And then you're just like, I don't know. I was recording a video. I'm like, I was recording a video. And then we start like cat fighting. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
We just do like little slaps and stuff like that. I'd be down for that. Just like little neurotic gags like that. I'm always down for.
I like visual humor, and also like I need to like do more collaborations with other. I feel like I'm so disconnected from the furry creator sphere, man. Like I'm literally in my own corner, and like I know that so many of my peers know about me. And some of them have said to me like, Ivy, I would love to work with you, but like you seem so busy. And I'm like, I am, but please just ask. I would love to do something with more people. It's so much fun. Like,
All right.
Yeah, I feel.
down to work with
Instead of
people,
just
man.
me
That's what
asking them,
happened.
you know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
We asked Ivycomb to come in the BARQcast, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous to ask Ivycomb. And Ivycomb was like, yes. And I was like, oh my god, why did your eye do that?
No, like legitimately, I will do almost if you have an idea and you present me an idea, I'm like, let's do it. Give me a date. And then like this happened a few times. They get nervous and then don't send a date, and I'm like, I'll follow up, and they're like, oh, I just like I wasn't expecting you to say yes, so I wasn't prepared. And I'm like, well, then why did you ask? Like, I would love to do more stuff with people. Like genuinely, if anyone asks me to like be on a stream or in a video, like as long as it's not like the next day, I'm usually down. So
Yeah,
take notes. If any of my fellow furry content creators are listening to this, like, and you would like to do something with me, even if it's like having me feature on a song or something, I am usually down.
Yeah, hey, you're on the BARQcast right now, so you're doing a little collab
That's
here.
right.
Can I ask you a favor? Can I ask you to do something? Can you do like a little dance?
Wow, that's a.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Are you okay?
My index controller.
Oh.
That's a little more than a dance,
Well,
man.
This isn't a joke. I actually broke it.
That was neither
hold on.
little nor a dance, but I'll
Okay.
take it.
Hold on.
Anyways, while he's doing that, hey, I have his
Let me grab my
video.
other one.
I have his video. Let's pull it up here. But while he's
Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay.
hold on. I gotta set it up for stream.
Okay, I'm back. I'm fine.
Okay, I was about to show stream your one of your newest videos with a more animated style. Let's see if this will work here. Yeah, I saw this and it was so cool.
Well, I like the frame rate.
Yeah, the frame rate on this is really cool.
Like,
nice.
The thing is that I'm an experienced animator, and I realized that I could do something that no one is really doing, which is like using my VR chat characters as actors in an animation style.
Yeah.
And when I realized I could do that, I was like, I know how to animate, so I know how like follow through and waiting and all these things work. So I just have to act that out. And so I do. And like the thing is I record all those in slow motion, and I usually record like that video. I recorded about 20 takes of the like the Keyline like doing the motion of like the I'm not like, and you know, like coming down to the camera with the fisheye lens.
That was really cool.
That shot was very hard to perfect, and I spliced like 3 different takes together for it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like it's not as much work as actual 3D animation, but it's close, and I think it looks a similar amount of good, especially with the what's it called? The face tracking and like everything together.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot that goes into it, but I'm very passionate about it, and I want to see more people doing things like that with like VR and whatnot.
Yeah,
because
make it more artsy.
Yeah, like there's so much that you can do with it to make it interesting. Like I just as an animator, like I love that shit, man.
You know what, Harvey, I'm gonna task you with doing something like that. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I saw it, and it was inspiring me to do something along those lines. I just don't know how the hell I would fucking do that.
Harvey's going to take your video, and he's going to grow it within him, and then expunge it in a even better form.
I'm pregnant with that video, okay?
Form.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that video got Harvey
dude needs
pregnant.
a video to be pregnant. Dude, you get on my level. I'm pregnant all the time.
Fuck, man.
Are you pregnant right now?
Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
I'm like 1,304 weeks pregnant.
Okay, let me get this straight. Were you pregnant 9 months ago?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So do you give birth or you're just always pregnant?
Well, there's no giving birth because it's I'm always pregnant. No.
Are you pregnant with the same cells that you have been pregnant with forever, or are they new?
Well, they're the same. They're the same.
Okay. Do they like undergo mitosis and stuff? How can they be the same? That was a trick
No.
question.
It's kind of just like it's more like a tumor, you know.
Oh, are you pregnant
That's
with?
a little different.
Are
from
you
being
pregnant with a tumor? Are you feeling it right now? Are you?
I think that I will need to speak to my medical practitioner.
Wait a minute, I'm not
Donuts
pregnant.
is right here. Donuts, you want to step in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I was asking what the hell we were talking about. Because I feel like at some point I missed something, and I don't know what we were talking about anymore.
We're talking about pregnancy.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
well, no, I
male
heard you guys
pregnancy.
throwing that word around, but I wasn't really sure if you knew what it meant.
Ivycomb's pregnant.
Donuts, can I? Okay.
Okay.
Can I
That's right.
interrupt this flow for a second? Donuts,
Yeah.
your little like things on the side of your head. I just want to like push them back and forth.
Oh my god, they're so wiggly.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wow, that's impressive.
Can you do? Alright, so
I've been working on my flexibility.
I can see that.
Yeah,
It's
showing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's showing. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, that's cool that you're pregnant.
I think I'm happy for you. I don't know if it's like a good thing or not. Are you happy being pregnant?
I love Canadian furries. Can I just say how much I love the Canadian furry community, by the way?
I don't know
Oh
how to,
my
I don't know how
God.
to answer that question.
Okay.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Sure are a lot of you
Canadian
guys.
furries.
Yeah, Canadians.
There's Ontario, there's Quebec, there's the other one. I just love it all.
You don't even know what province I'm in. Wow. All right, man.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
bye.
Toronto,
Bye.
hello. You know,
he's just
I
walking
know where
out.
you are.
I don't live in Toronto, you bitch.
Okay, basically, Toronto is basically all of Canada. I've been told.
Hey,
I've been told.
Banjo's just
Wait,
a little puppy, okay? He doesn't know.
Was that? Hold on. Was that a tail behind Ivy that I just saw?
Yeah, can we get a tail cam, Ivy? Ivy, come
Back
back.
it up.
Ivy, I know you can hear us. Come back.
Beep.
Can I see a little bit? Look at that.
Oh.
Wait a second. Oh, it's like just below frame. It's so hard to see.
Can I don't know if I can push him up a little bit.
I live in the Vancouver area.
Vancouver,
I
British
actually-
Columbia?
Yes, Vancouver, British Columbia. I grew up in Toronto though. Like I was born there and I grew up there.
You know, I wish I was Canadian so that Nardwar would interview my major political candidates. Because that's so like perfect. That's how it should
Does
be.
Nardwar interview?
Yeah, he interviewed like a bunch of they had a major election and he interviewed a bunch of them. I was like, damn, I wish we did that and like over here because I think Nardwar needs to interview. Honestly, he should have interviewed the Pope. The conclave should have been basically decided by Nardwar if it was up to me.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So Ivy, you've got the you've got the music, you've got the lore, you've got the animated show up and coming, which I'm very excited for. When is the action figure line coming?
Oh.
I mean, like I have spoken with reps at a few like companies that make those.
Yeah.
So like they could happen. I know someone that worked at U2's. They don't work there anymore. But I was talking with them about the potential of like some Ivycomb U2
Dude,
stuff.
you are so U2 shaped.
I am very U2 shaped. But like I like we were talking about that, and I'm like, I humor almost everybody that like reaches out to me about merch related stuff because like I like having options. But like that doesn't. I should clarify that like that doesn't necessarily mean that I have like a relationship with that company or I'm gonna work with them because like I need to. I like to do my own research when when I signed my first big contract with any company, I researched them for 4 weeks.
Right.
Like
Smart.
Well, I mean, like, I probably went a little obsessive about it because, like, I looked into the background of the CEO, and I ended up like calling some people that he knew through LinkedIn, and like asking them questions about him, like just to see like if it was legit. Like this is the level of like of research I do before I like commit to working with like a
That's
company.
good. That's good. That's a good practice.
Like,
Due diligence.
my vinyl records that I've been selling, that I'll be selling more of soon. They're with a Canadian company called Precision Pressing. And I researched them for about 9 months, like on and off, obviously.
Oh my
Not every
God.
day.
Yeah.
But like basically like I just kept on looking at the background. I was looking at other bands that were working with them, and like I care a lot about like actually delivering high quality products to my fans. You know what I mean? Like it's very important to me.
Yes, I respect the hell out of people and brands and groups who do that. I think that is. So I think people can tell. People can tell once it's like something you've put passion into and that you actually care about. Okay.
Bless you.
Thanks for that.
Excuse me.
So, Ivycomb, I think a good pitch. I think a good pitch that you could give is here's the pipeline. Ready? Here's how I see it.
Okay.
Animated show, Roblox tie-in game, Roblox tie-in action figures. Bring to the bank. Okay.
Roblox action figures?
Yep. So imagine a Roblox character.
Yeah.
But plastic. And Ivy.
Whoa.
I could see it, dude. I could see it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you gotta get the Roblox game, because then they're gonna be fans of your content for life. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get them in.
That's what I was just saying.
Get your foot in the door. You gotta have them being like, Mom, I want the Ivycomb figure in Renovator, Mom. I need Robux.
This is kind of behind the curtain, but I'm genuinely trying to will a Terraria Roblox game into existence. And the whole like approach is like just growing like a fan base. Like it is such a good idea, and I think it needs to happen. I think an Ivycomb game needs to happen as well.
Oh, I am working on a game.
Nice.
This guy's doing everything, man.
It's not related to my content. I'm just doing it for fun to learn Unity.
That's awesome.
It's called Slapstick, and I will not elaborate any further.
Oh boy.
Okay. Slaps the shit out of you.
Oh. Wow. Why?
I thought that's where suddenly I'm the asshole because I thought that's where this was going.
No.
Oh, look how sad.
Crying.
Oh
Crying
my
Bumblebee.
God.
Come on, dude.
Oh, it feels like a lawsuit. Give me money.
Oh my God.
Do not sue the BARQ Corporation.
Did you guys know that Furry Tech is in the U.S. military? Somebody from the Netherlands made a cooling vest, and now it's used in the military.
I sure wish that there was an Ivycomb short explaining this. That would be
only
really
there
cool.
was an Ivycomb short that was uploaded 3 hours ago explaining it.
Oh, guys, God is here. Gotta go.
Oh God.
Hi, God. I'm meeting you a bit sooner than I expected.
To our audio listeners, Shrek just showed up.
Hey, God, is there any chance that I could get like a favor or two?
Donkey.
So there's these 2 Roblox projects I'm trying to launch, and I just need you to put in a good word. Okay. Is there any chance we could get that rolling?
I think he approves. Oh,
he's like moving.
He just left.
Oh.
Oh my.
Okay.
Dude, why do you have bones in your body?
Somewhere. They're in there.
Okay. Not enough.
Still looking.
Not a.
Do you guys remember back in the day, like a really long time ago, where there was a whole like boneless meme? It was like boneless.
Wait.
Boneless Ivycomb.
No.
Boneless
No. It was a dog. It was a dog that was like, it was either a bones day or a no bones day.
No, that's Cat.
Am
I
I?
know what you're talking
No,
about.
that was real. Chat, this is real. Does anyone remember this? It was kind of niche.
No.
I'm not crazy.
Oh, boneless pizza. That was it.
Boneless pizza.
Boneless. Yeah.
Okay. What? You got a little thought? Are you thinking right now? Or...
Well, there's no thoughts in that bubble, from what I can tell.
There's no thoughts.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to go subscribe to Ivycomb's YouTube channel so that I could watch this short you guys were talking about. I didn't know this. This is cool.
So
Furry tech in the military.
So
I just remembered that I have the power to do visual gags, so I will do them in the background while the podcast continues.
The poor audio listeners are never gonna know. Okay, wait. So what is this about military tech coming into the furry fandom?
I was in the middle of watching it. I only got the first few seconds.
Okay.
In, but it seemed like somebody from the Netherlands, like you just said, invented fursuit tech that got adopted by the U.S. military, which is cool.
It was fursuit tech that went into the military.
To be clear, this isn't even like a new thing either. It's actually been like the case for several years already. It's just that like I decided to cover it now because I wanted to. There's not really any other reason for it.
And so, what's the tech?
Cooling vests that are very like well form fitting, because the thing is like a lot of older cooling vests were really bulky and not fit for things like fursuiting, because they, you know, you're already restricted enough when you're in a fursuit. So easy cool down is the company, and the vests they made were so good and were designed for fursuits specifically that like a whole bunch of medical and military and like engineering professionals started wanting to use them in other applications.
That's crazy. I love
it.
That.
Reminds me of how like what's it called? There's a Protogen like visor repository that ended up being used in like a major product in China because it was a much more efficient way of displaying images and text on screens.
Nice.
Than like what was being used, like for matrix displays. I mean,
okay, this ties into something I've always thought. I've always thought that if you centralized furry and gave them a budget equivalent to the United States military, we would probably like modernize the entire world within a year. It would be like on the level of Tokyo everywhere.
I mean, like, dude, I think that like if furries were running the world's like economies and like national governments, like, you know. Everything would be much more efficient, but also there would be mandatory fun, and some people hate that. So, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I hate fun personally, so I would hate that, and I would probably be
miserable. Benjo's very anti.
You hate fun.
He's very anti.
Yeah, sometimes I get so mad that I go to a whiteboard and I draw the word fun with a marker, and I just start crying.
Banjo,
real masochist, this one.
Banjo, you are something else, man. You are one of a kind.
That feels like you're objectifying me.
No, I'm no. It's good. Like I'm saying, you're one of a kind. Like
Banjo, where's Kazooie?
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No, Banjo, don't. Okay, fuck. Well, Banjo's gone now. Anyways,
well, guys, looks like it's time for Shrek 2.
Oh no!
Are you looking forward to Shrek 5?
No.
What? No. I know a lot of people are.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything on it.
Okay.
I think there's a new trailer.
Yeah, I will say there was a bunch of shit on the trailer for the like modernization of Shrek, but like I think it looks good. Like I
want to be clear. I'm not not excited for it. I'm just like not excited for it. I have no opinion of it. I didn't know that it was. I thought it was a Jack's Film shitpost. I'm not gonna lie.
like I don't think I've seen like I guess Shrek 4 and 3 maybe, but I did like how it looked in Shrek 5. I thought it was cute. Also, Banjo, what is going on?
It's itty bitty Banjo.
I'm just itty bitty Banjo. I'm just over here.
What is happening right now?
Don't buy me.
Why is the Jax Films AI React
Pod?
Why is he here?
React Pod, what do you have to say, buddy? Seems kind of Sigma. That's what he would say. That's what he would say right there.
We're missing the. Can we get the I Love Andre gift going in the corner, please?
Dude, I can pull it up. I'll pull.
Oh my God, Ivycomb is going so fast, dude. The Flash has nothing on you. Donuts, are you enjoying what we've created in the studio here today?
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you invited me on. This is awesome so far.
Okay, here it is.
I feel like I'm bearing witness to something incredible.
Where'd it go?
Oh, it's okay. He's back.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
We love Andre here, just so everyone knows. Wow, this is
for audio listeners. It's a nightmare.
No, but it's fun.
So actually, you mentioned something about. I think it's funny. Washington D.C. BARQcast listeners. Actually, if you look at the BARQcast stats on Spotify, there's 4 listeners that live in Pentagon City. So
no, wait, really?
It's possible somebody's listening to this on their way to the Pentagon.
From
right
the
now.
Pentagon.
I've heard that there's a McDonald's in the Pentagon.
Oh
There
no!
is you know what? You heard correct. So, okay, if you could say one word of advice to somebody working the Pentagon, what would you guys say? I guess.
I don't know.
Make sure that you lock your doors on July 26, 2029.
Okay. To all federal agencies or entities, I do not. I think I need to talk to the lawyers real quick. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Release
To
the
be clear,
Roswell
for legal
files.
reasons, that was a joke. I don't even know where the Pentagon is.
Well, I feel like you should at least know where it is.
Someone just DM'd me on Discord and said, "What the fuck is going on your stream?"
Everything's fine right now. We just have I can't look at Ivy's little border right now.
What's wrong with my?
It's
What's
just
wrong
this
with my
giant
screen, man?
stretched guy they're smiling right now
So,
for
okay,
our
Dude,
audience.
like,
Who is this?
you realize that like in the next hour at some point we're gonna have like a really deeply interesting conversation and people are gonna have to get through this last 10 minutes to get to that.
True.
And, like
True.
I think that that's really like I just have a feeling like we're gonna go from like
Yes,
this moment of chaos into something very profound and insightful and interesting.
we're gonna get really philosophical. Banjo loves to do that. He's
Thank you.
he's a bit of a
like,
philosophical guy.
You guys said you were gonna Nardwire me, and like honestly, like I'm kind of disappointed because you haven't really asked me any deep.
Okay, well that's on Harry.
Dude, I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. I have had minimal time to do research. But one thing I do wanna ask about is how the hell did you work for Linus Tech Tips?
Oh yeah.
I applied for a job.
Like, what did you do? What did you do at the company?
I wrote around 36 LTT videos.
And what is that?
Linus Tech Tip video. This guy doesn't even know Linus Tech Tips.
I wrote.
Oh, is that
Linus
just
Tech Tips? Yeah, LTT is Linus Tech Tips. So
Oh,
I wrote.
I'm not good at acronyms.
I wrote 36 Linus Tech Tips videos ish. Like about a whole bunch of different stuff. I made a few water cooling videos that I really liked. I'm also in like I think 7 or 8 LTT videos. I didn't stay at the company long enough to end up becoming a host because like the writers usually do end up becoming hosts. But I was a background character and I also did voiceover for 2 videos on the LTT channel. So I've been around there. I'm still good friends with a lot of people that work there and worked there. Like Linus and I are what's it called on good terms, and we still need to play Beat Saber. Like we're friends on Discord, and like we like I asked him, I was like when I was leaving, I'm like, we saw him play Beat Saber, and he was like, yeah, I'd be down to play Beat. So,
Nice.
so we're
very
gonna
sweet.
play Beat Saber at some point. It's been 4 years since I left, but like
And you still get to.
the day will
Wow.
come where I DM him and I'm like, hey, yo,
It's
what
time.
up, line man? You ready to play some awesome VR games? And he's gonna go, Cowabunga, Ivycomb. I love your videos and I love furries. And then it'll like we'll frolic off into the sunset together, you know?
Okay, unironically, it's only a matter of time before every major YouTuber, including Linus Tech Tips, does at least one video on furries. At least one.
I
think
mean,
it's
like
gonna happen.
I don't want people to think that this is going to happen, but like again, I still have friends that work at the company, and I was considering trying to just show up at the office in fursuit on October 31st, and like just show up, like to be like letting them know beforehand, like don't go to the building, they won't let you in. But like I was thinking of coordinating with some of them, like a Halloween prank where I just show up and like photobomb or video bomb a shoot and then leave.
I mean, if there's anything that goes viral, it's furries. You know, I think people
Yeah.
love furries. People love looking at furries. It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I hope it happens, though. Although the surprise is ruined now if it is happening.
So inside scoop is Linus Tech Tips a furry?
No, but there are furries that
Damn
work
it.
there.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny.
I feel like
I was one of
Linus-
them.
I feel like he maybe would be. I don't know. He's a tech guy,
No,
you know.
he's. I have
What
watched
the
Linus
fuck?
for the past
Omni
6
Man.
minutes, and he's not a furry. Okay.
Did anyone else
I've
see
been
that?
Watching for 6 minutes.
You know, I've got a question to ask you guys. I'm gonna stop you there. I have a question to ask you guys. Have you guys ever had Mesomix before?
No.
No,
What is that?
What is that?
No.
So Mezzomix is a German, so it's only in Germany. So that I know that you've never been to Germany. So Mezzomix is effectively Fanta and Coke mixed together, and it's like the best thing ever. I love it,
Really?
and it's like really popular in Germany. It's really good.
How much you being paid?
I'm not. I miss Germany. Everything there is awesome, except everyone smokes all the time in public.
Well, if you love it so much, why don't you go marry it?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No,
I mean,
didn't.
like, you know what, man? I'm dating the peoples in America right now, and like, if I was dating a European, it would be easier for me because I could just move to Europe because I'm actually an EU national. Fun fact.
Oh.
What? Which one?
Yeah.
Which EU?
Portuguese. So I have Portuguese citizenship.
Oh.
Do you ever take advantage of that?
I mean, like, if I ever need to get the fuck out of North America, I'm gonna just go move to Norway.
Wait, I thought you said Portuguese.
I'm an EU citizen, so I can live in any of the EU member states.
Oh, is that how that works? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wait, that's basically just like, yeah, that's overpowered.
You can move to any EU member state as long as you can prove that you have like the income and you pay taxes to that state.
Well, you don't pay taxes, so that.
But you have to register and everything to be like. It's not like literally just walk in and move into a house. Like you have to do the paperwork, obviously.
It's
but
so
like,
boring.
I mean, like I've considered like potentially moving to Portugal in the future too because it's very pretty. But like, I'd like to move to a place where there's a larger English-speaking population if I'm not going to be in Canada.
Yeah, I don't really know any other foreign languages. I need to.
Bonjour, mes amis.
Oh.
Je m'appelle Ivycomb.
Wow.
Est qui tu parles français?
Yes.
Oh, oui, mon ami, je m'appelle Banjo.
I hope that Andre watches this and dies instantly from hearing my horrible French on purpose.
Can you, so as somebody who has been to Canada, like yourself, is French like on signs?
That's like a good question that you asked in a profoundly stupid way. Yes. Sometimes in like areas that see a lot of international traffic, there is English and French on signs, but generally no. Most areas here do not have French signs.
Oh. Okay.
Benjo's done. He's done.
Like that was really good, man. Like that was really funny, but like just the fact that like as someone who's been to Canada, such as yourself, I'm like, yeah, man.
You go to Canada, right?
That's how you want to word that?
Was I wrong?
But you said as someone who's been to Canada, like saying like you said that like you were the person that's been to Canada, and then you're like such as yourself, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I've been to the country I was born in. Thank you.
Well, I know Banjo was just accounting for your other alters, you know.
Yeah,
you're being inclusive.
True.
Excuse me for being inclusive.
My mistake, buddy. I'll be sure to account for that next time that like I'm asked a question that makes me question my life.
Yeah.
Hey man, he's just a silly little puppy, okay? He can't help himself. Well, no, Banjo. Oh, whoa.
Actually, I'm the puppy. Get fucked, idiot.
Whoa. Whoa. Two puppies here?
Oh.
What is...
You were gonna say something?
Banjo.
Are there dogs in Canada?
Now there is. Now there is.
Oh my god. Why is there just...
well, thanks to the Liberal Party being voted in this election for a fourth term, we do now have puppies.
That was one of their policies.
Our voting options were the Everybody Gets Diarrhea Forever Party and everyone gets a puppy party, and we voted for the Everyone Gets Puppy Party.
So, as someone who has a vested interest in Canadian politics, what is it? As yourself.
It's like if American politics were significantly less stupid.
Hey man.
Okay. That like, yeah.
Now to be clear, I am not dunking on any side of the political spectrum. As an outsider, all of American politics are absolutely unwatchable garbage. And let me tell you,
no, as an insider, it's the same way.
I love being American.
I will not comment too much on politics just because like frankly like I think that there are other people that are more educated on both like sides of the border that like do a much better job than I would. Like look, man, I'd rather talk about like furries and like my other hobbies.
Which we
but
will
like
do.
what I can say is it was very bizarre watching the Canadian presidential debate because after watching the shit show that was the American debate last year, it was really weird seeing everyone speak in full sentences.
Right.
You know, it's funny because I'm a senior analyst for a major political commentary corporation.
Oh my God.
And as somebody with that particular expertise, I just want to say that every time I look at you, I want to crush you like a bug with a little stone.
I am a bug. Yay!
Yeah.
I am so happy. I really wish that more people would crush me.
Well,
Oh.
I got a question for you all. If you
Yeah?
entertain me, how big are you? Like your Sona? Like how big is Banjo? How big is
Can size.
Ivycomb?
Okay.
Ivy is like 6'6".
Big. Wow.
What
okay,
the
large.
hell?
I'm pretty modest. I'm about 8'2" on a good day.
Hold on, let me go to Ivy's
As in
reference document.
8.2 inches.
Feet squared.
Oh,
Weird.
whoa, beans cam.
So Banjo's massive.
Ivy
then. Got it.
is 1. Oh, sorry. So I was wrong. I was very wrong. Ivy was 1.85 meters.
And what is that in feet?
Which is just over 6 feet.
Okay. Yep.
And
Damn.
Ivy weighs 46 pounds.
Okay, so they're mostly fluff.
Wow.
Well, mostly hollow bones.
Oh yeah. Okay. Mostly air.
So are you? So you're some species. Are you half bee, half dragon?
I am a species.
Or are you?
All species.
You're like your own
I'm
species.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. No, 1.85 meters. So I saw someone mishear me.
Right.
Just to be clear, 1.85 meters for all my non-Americans. It is what's it called? Ivy is what a species called a drab, which are bee dragons. But like they are just a species that I created because I am God.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Can I stop you for a second there? Why are you God, and how are you God? Like, why do you think that?
You can't just ask God these things, Banjo.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm a curious cat in a
What-
dog's body.
What is?
What just happened?
To audio listeners, he just froze. Oh, Jesus! He just got hit by something. He got knocked out.
That's all it took.
He's probably.
I was
Donut,
about
what's
to
your
tell you the
favorite-
forbidden
what's-
secrets. The
I
powers of the force told me not to.
All right. Okay. We won't ask if you're God or not. I'm sorry. Well, okay. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared.
I love. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Banjo.
So Anthrocon is coming up, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It's in Pittsburgh.
Where is Pittsburgh? Okay. When?
Yeah. I think it's July 1st to like July 3rd this year. It's usually at, like the
Yeah,
very
it's at the start
beginning.
of July.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like at the very start of July. Last year we got to watch the 4th of July fireworks there, which was really fun. And if you guys know anything about Anthrocon, you'll know the waterfront is the place to be, especially like kind of when the con is winding down. And
I want to go, but I have trauma from my last convention.
What the
what
hell?
happened at your
Okay.
last convention? Are you okay? Do you need to
The
talk
tire.
about it?
Tire popped.
Oh my god.
What is this? Care to explain?
So a car has
I
four
went to
tires.
TFF this year,
Okay.
and I drove down from Vancouver to Dallas, and
That's a
it's
long
like
drive.
it's like a 3-day drive,
Okay.
effectively. Like not 3 straight days, like it's 3 calendar days worth of driving. And so when we were on our way down, in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, Colorado, I hit a nail. And for context, my car at this time had about 3,000 miles on the odometer. So like this car is brand new, and I have a nail go through the bottom right side of my driver's side rear tire, and it goes through the bottom and then hits the side of the wheel and gets angled to the right and completely obliterates my sidewall.
Oh.
It's
Oh my
over.
god. Yeah.
So it was
yeah,
entirely unpatchable. Like they were able to patch it, but with a plug that would not hold under any actual load. Like I was able to get it onto a tow truck and tow it 2 hours east to the nearest shop that had a tire. Because bear in mind, we're on our way to a convention and we're supposed to arrive in Texas tonight and we're in Colorado. And like, so we had to stay at like an inn in a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere in Colorado.
Murdered.
With no car, and then they tried to patch the tire and then found out that it was unrepairable, and so they sent us on a fun journey to fucking to Colorado Springs. So if you want to look on a map, it's Salida, Colorado to Colorado Springs is where we had to get a tow truck. It was 101 miles.
Oh my
god. Oh my god.
My AAA coverage is for 100 miles. So they billed me $7 for the tow, which wasn't too bad.
I'm not that sorry about that.
Like the tow was only $7, which is good because if I didn't have AAA insurance, it would have been about a $900 tow.
Right, it would have been big.
And US dollars, mind you. So like like actual real currency, not Canadian dollars. But it didn't matter because I was still screwed anyway because my this car is an ultra high performance car, and so it needs tires that are like there's only 4 tires I can put on my car that are DOT approved for it, and one of them is the one that it has, which are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which are basically like Michelin's highest performance street tire that you can buy, and each tire is $600 US.
Damn.
So this one tire cost me 16 hours and almost $1,000 US because of the in-stay and the extra like fees of just everything associated.
But you eventually made it to the con, right?
Yes, I did eventually make it to the con.
That's good.
Like only 1 day late. And so that wasn't too big of a deal. And then at the con, I basically just stood in fursuit for 4 hours and took photos. There was a queue to take photos with me. I wasn't even there as a guest or anything.
Look at you.
I literally just got in fursuit, and then people were like, "Oh my god, it's Ivycomb and review it for Main World." And so it was like, it was very chill. Don't get me wrong. Like I love meeting my fans, but like I didn't really get to do anything at the con. However, I got to hang out with some of my friends, and that was the real reason I went down.
Hell yeah.
So it was all worth it. The journey was just as important as the destination.
Oh, dude, I went to a fucking like amazing sushi place right outside of Dallas, and it was like, honestly, dude, it was like maybe 70% as good as like an average sushi place here. So it was a pretty good experience.
That's good.
I just want to say, you Americans are getting fucked real bad by sushi places. They're all pretty bad in the States.
We're used to that. Don't worry.
Everything's bad here, man.
I have my
That's
own
not true.
It's true.
Taco Bell in America is pretty good.
No, dude.
It's good when it goes in. It's bad when it comes back out.
Did you get food poisoning from it?
Yeah, I did. I got severe food poisoning that disabled me for 2 weeks.
Shout out Taco Bell. Not fun.
Like racing tires are expensive.
Yeah, you know, being into cars is expensive. That's why I just stick to being a furry. It's already my budget's already too high.
Dude, I hate having like the hobbies that I have because like I genuinely like them, but like I have like so many expensive hobbies, man, and
I was
it's like
say, you have
so
a lot
bad.
of hobbies just listening to this conversation. Like you talked about cars, you've talked about like animation, you've talked about 3D like modeling and stuff. Like you do a lot of stuff.
I do a lot because
Music?
I like to be self-proficient. Like I do like semi-competitive racing stuff. I'm just generally into cars, but like I do music, I do sound design, I have a background in sound engineering, I do voice acting, I do like singing, which is part of music, I guess. But like video creation, editing, animation, compositing, practical effects. I also actually know how to fly planes, but I'm not a pilot. So you know, there's that as well.
Dude, what can't you do, man? This is
a bee of many skills.
I can't fly a helicopter. I cannot be an astronaut. Oh, I also am very passionate about cooking and baking, and I'm very good at both of them too.
Nice.
So unfortunately I don't fit the like VTuber stereotype of being like a man failure, a boy failure, you know what I mean? I do in fact know how to cook. Well, I do know what I'm really bad at. I have no handy skills whatsoever. If there is like a leak at a pipe in the house, I panic and I start crying.
but are you good with like car mechanic stuff?
It depends on what it is. But like the big problem is that like I'm physically disabled, so I can only do so much with cars right now. Like I usually just take it to a shop for a lot of stuff, but like I know how to disassemble the top end of an engine. And I haven't tried the bottom half of an engine, but I probably could. Like I know how to work on engines, and I know how engines operate, and like I understand it, and I can wrench. The big problem is that I like can't get on my knees for more than like 15 seconds without like being in a lot of pain.
Oh, bad knees.
I do have bad knees. It's probably because I'm fat.
Oh,
would you say it's not the bee's knees then?
No, it's not the bee's knees. I that's why I usually hire human mechanics.
See,
but like I would like to wrench on cars more because it would save me a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude, mechanics will charge you lots of money.
I mean, like it's not too bad, but like it's I mean, the nice thing is like my daily driver like basically requires no maintenance, so that's not a problem. But like my Supra is like I want to do a bunch of work to it, and I'm gonna have to have shops do it, and like because it's not maintenance work, it's gonna be actual shop like shop work. It's gonna be a fair bit expensive to have some of it done, and like that's why I'm gonna try and just do a whole bunch of the work at once, because it will be cheaper if it's all done at the same time than over time.
Yeah. Yeah, I know nothing about cars, so I'm just like, oh.
So here's the deal with cars, as far as like what I know. Right?
Okay.
Sometimes you get in them and then you drive for fun, or you drive for purpose, and I think that that's beautiful. That you can do both.
Yeah.
You have purpose and you can have fun.
I do both.
Do you have purpose within your fun, or are they?
Oh yeah, I mean like it's because I need to show everyone else that I'm better than them.
You are better than everyone who's ever lived. Actually, that's true.
It's true. I am. I'm the best. Like if I ran for Prime Minister of Canada, I would win instantly just by metric of how awesome I am.
They wouldn't even have an election. They just say, yeah, no.
Oh, you want to run? No, just take it, dude. You're good.
Okay, okay.
Like the ultimate secret is like people are like, how do you do it, Ivy? And I'm like, I'm delusional. That's how.
So if you were Prime Minister of Canada today, what's your first act as Prime Minister?
I'm debating whether I give a serious answer or the funny answer. The serious answer is funding for more like public transit.
Oh, solid.
Well,
and then what's the funny answer?
The funny answer is everyone in Ontario is going to be moved to Quebec, and we're going to see what happens.
What?
Okay.
Why do you want to do that?
We're going to be using Ontario for nuclear weapons testing from now on, and all Ontarians are going to be moved to Quebec.
Isn't that a bit hawkish? Why do you need nuclear weapons testing?
I don't trust the states anymore.
What are you planning?
Invasion.
Where? Right. Just so I know I'm safe. We're not in America, right? We're not. Oh fuck! Is it in America?
All right, I'm running for president of the United States. I've just decided.
Banjo, please fight against Ivy now. You got. I don't.
So here's the thing. I'm orange, so I feel I'm qualified. I think how
that's all it takes these days.
So yeah. So we're gonna square off in about 4 years, Ivy. I hope you're ready for that, and I look forward to our dance.
Banjo versus Ivy in the dome. Who would win?
Sometimes when I'm really, really angry, my face gets really red, so I would probably win.
Yeah, you pop up a bit, and you get real
No, 'cause
feisty.
bees don't like the color red, so that's why.
Dude, okay, I will say this. I've had like some bad interactions with bees. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I don't mean to expose you. I genuinely don't want to expose you, but at A&E there was a bee outside, and Harry was like jumping up and down and screaming like a little girl running away from it. He was like,
No.
"Get away! Get away!"
Look, like my mom, I love her. She was a beekeeper. We had a whole bee farm in our backyard for a while. But once I got a little too comfortable, and I was kind of exploring that area because my backyard is also just a huge forest as well. I live in the middle of the woods pretty much. And I accidentally sat on one of the bees once, and they stung me right in the ass. And I think I was like 8 at the time or something, and man, did that hurt. I was fucking bawling my eyes out, and I ran to my mom like, Mom, I saw a bee and it stung me. And after that, hey, over the years I've been growing fond of bees again.
I'm glad that we've been able to change your mind.
Yeah. What is that?
You need to go to therapy.
Yeah. So like having you on the podcast is like a little hard for me, just because.
Hold on, Harry. Can you please stop talking? We're looking at looks like benchmark results.
What is this? Passmark rating 16,000. What is this?
So for our non-visual viewers,
Yeah.
currently on Ivycomb's webcam, we have
I just grabbed a random screenshot from my screenshots folder.
39.2.9.
Nice.
Okay,
Looks like your computer's in tip-top shape.
Oh, when I first got this computer from the computer shop, they I ran some benchmarks on it for stability testing, and I set the highest score ever for a graphics card.
Wow.
Like a world record?
Yes.
What
What?
graphics card do you have?
I have a 5090.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So wait, why didn't you get it from LTT? You could have called Linus up and been like, "Hey,
I'm worried that they're gonna ask me about the items I've stolen.
What have you stolen?
Dude, you know I steal from my work. Harry steals from his work.
No, I don't.
Donut steals a lot of things.
I
Donut
have
stolen
one
a
of
lot
the red
stuff, you wouldn't
cameras
believe
from
it.
Linus Tech Tips, like one of their 8K red cameras. It's just behind me.
Okay,
Just
that's
to have a
crazy.
red
You just
camera
said
chilling
that
out?
on the stream.
And did you steal that?
I paid for it.
Oh, okay, you paid for it.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like you stole it. I was like, that's like, isn't that a couple?
Oh no.
No, you would never.
I thought about one time when I was under an NDA because I was testing out a new server that was using a new not yet released SSD technology. I debated taking it home just for funsies, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to lose my job.
Yeah.
Or get sued.
That's good. That's.
I mean, like I lost. They wouldn't sue me because like it would be cost ineffective. I would just lose my job.
Yeah, you just go, hey, it's me, Ivy. Come on, I didn't mean any harm. I just wanted to take this thing, please.
You know what's really funny though is I actually did almost drop that. So it was a server that had two 128 core Epic CPUs in it, and like 1.5 terabytes of RAM, and what's it called? The SSD was like I think a 36 terabyte drive, and I almost dropped the server when I was bringing it down a flight of stairs. And when I told Linus, all that he said was, "If you had, it probably would have made a better video." And
Yeah,
I laughed my ass off at that.
You should have done it, dude.
Like, it would have been really funny.
If there's one thing I've learned, Ivy, it's that you can get out of any situation by just saying, "I'm a little guy. I didn't mean to drop the couple $1,000 silver. I'm just a little bee.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Flight Attendant. I didn't mean to shit my pants. I'm just a little guy.
Okay, where the hell did that? We're in a different world right now. Like, how did we get there? Did you shit your pants on a plane?
You totally shit yourself on a plane. Oh my god.
No, I was making a hypothetical. Have you ever heard of?
Okay.
Have you ever heard of creating hypothetical situations, buddy?
No,
I don't.
You ever heard of
Can you-
hypotheticals?
Oh, I thought you shit yourself, dude. That would have been funny.
Ivy, this is becoming a hostile situation, and we're not gonna do this on the BARQcast. We're not gonna do it on the BARQcast, okay? Okay.
Are you HR? I don't like HR. Get out of my house.
No,
Okay,
no.
we need to have a performance
React bot
discussion.
says go away. The power of Christ compels
guys,
you.
Okay. If anybody is listening to this and they actually work at a job, which is a miracle, if there's people that are employed listening to this, by the way. But if you have a job and HR ever gives you like a performance discussion, just start saying, "The power of Christ compels you. I do not submit. HR cannot control me. HR cannot control me," and just keep talking over them.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I wasn't sure what to expect when you invited me on this podcast. I was like, I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a really insightful, like, you know, we're gonna have lots of meta talk about the fandom and this and that. Well, yeah, I was like, this will be fun, but also I was like, it could be a complete like chaotic thing, because if you're look, man, if you invite me onto a podcast or a stream or anything, and you don't give me a direction, the rails are going to be like left very quickly.
Good.
Okay.
Dude, on the BARQcast,
yeah.
we do whatever the hell we want. We're not like the other people.
So.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay, Ivycomb, are you ready? Sit down. Let's put our serious faces on. Let's get some structure for a second.
Okay, I'm sitting down.
Okay, sit down. Okay. So, what do you think the biggest thing you would change about the furry community? And I don't call it a fandom. I mean, I do call it a fandom, but I feel like I should stop calling it a fandom because it's sort of just like, it's too big now to be like one cohesive thing. And I think a lot of issues come out of like everybody trying to squish it into like one cohesive thing, where we should just accept that there's just gonna be like little factions and, you know, we're all kind of loosely together. But anyways, what is one thing you would change about the furry community as a whole?
I think that's a pretty loaded question.
Yeah. We're putting you on the spot here.
Okay, like see, that's actually like a really interesting question.
And Donuts, you feel free to answer as well if you have something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my answer is real short. Bigger tails.
Okay. Well, I should have known that actually. This guy.
I think that like I would want to I think that if I could like beam into everyone's brains like a basic like a baseline understanding of nuance that we all agree on, that would be a great thing. Like, because there's not like a oh no, I have a better answer. I need furry conventions to stop fucking using the same outdated shitty reg system.
Yes.
Yeah. God,
yes.
Please. Yeah.
I literally like when I was at TFF, I like lightheartedly bitched to one of the organizers because like we were just talking and I was like, your reg system is terrible, and it's not because of you guys, it's because it's like a terrible reg system. And they're like, what should we use? And I'm like, there's a system that a lot of anime cons use that I believe is open source, and I'm like, I need to still find it. But I just, anyone who has been to a furry convention the last like 4 years in North America, or the last 10 years really, will know the reg system I'm talking about, because pretty much all the cons use the same reg system, and it's like it is
pretty
so
bad.
Inefficient. And also like,
I mean,
dude, at the size these fur cons are at, they really should be doing badge to order services, because it would massively speed up like con everything. And the thing is like, yes, it will inhibit like an extra $5 in America for shipping costs and whatnot, but guess what? Just charge $5 more.
Yeah.
The furries are still gonna go to the con.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like it's dude, it's honestly like it would make furry convention like experiences on day one so much better. And like it would just all around be a big improvement. The other thing is like just when I said the nuance, what I was thinking of was like, I get really frustrated with how like some people treat like regular fat characters as being like fetishized. Like it's like you can't just have a fat furry character without people being like, oh my god, like you have a fat fetish. This is fetish art. And it's like, dude, I'm a fat person. That says more about you and your weird assumptions than it does about me for having a fat character. Like, maybe there are other reasons than wanting to beat the meat. You know what
There
I mean?
is-
Jump
there-
on a fat character.
choke the chicken.
There is more than just
do your spoingle.
the twink body type when it comes to Sona designing. You know, there is
Dude, and
it's a
and
plethora.
some furries are so nasty about it too. Like they're like I really do think that some furries just hate seeing art of any character that isn't a twink femboy. Like
True.
it's so frustrating because like I don't have a problem with that implicitly, to be clear. Like
Yeah.
I think that I think that you can make any body type look great with the right artist and the right character. Like obviously if you're I should say any body type can look really good. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
it's all about the art itself and the fact that like some people get so up in arms. I've seen people get mad at Slugcat artists drawing Gourmand because he's fat, and he is a fat slug. He's really round in the video game. And
round.
people draw him as a round guy. And I've seen people be like, this is fetish art and it's not cool. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my fucking mind about it because like, I think that like shitty behavior or someone that's like, you know, being really inappropriate, totally fair to like call it behavior. Somebody just drawing a fat character, it's not that, man. I'm sorry. But like, if I want my fucking fat character eating a burger and someone's like, you are spreading fataganda, I'm gonna be like,
Fataganda.
go outside, man. Go outside, man.
Preach.
Like,
People are just too chronically online to understand.
It's
I
true.
think the yeah, I think a lot of the culture is spread through Twitter, and I think that that's just a breeding grounds for no brain opinions to be more prevalent. I feel like so. I think that a lot of the problems I have with like the things that I get frustrated with do come from like just the algorithmic like nature of how like thoughts are shared. At least for my perspective as someone who uses Twitter a lot.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of like if it's either like I see like kind of like people like if there's like a fat character, I see like a lot of people like, oh, why are you posting this like fetish stuff? You're like, there's like two frames of view that I see. I see like people who are complaining and it seems like they're just mad that it's a fat person, and there's people who think that you're like objectifying fat people. And I think that both of them are like equally like not equally maybe, but like they're both pretty annoying when it's just like someone trying to like have like a bigger character.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, my sore throat is is getting to me.
Keep this up, I'm gonna punch you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What there was.
So that's.
Hi.
Do you feel that you promote a problematic viewpoint by objectifying people with big tails?
I would hope that I don't objectify them. Actually, the whole point of my content is to try to raise their voices and to platform them.
So you're saying you celebrate them rather?
Yeah, that's it. I celebrate them, draw attention to them. Give them a voice.
I see. And what do you see to critics who argue that you make people feel bad for having maybe a tail that's not big enough?
I would say they need to get good and get a bigger tail. No, just kidding. I'd say that I say a lot of that stuff facetiously. It's and anybody who knows me knows that. That tail that's just as good as any tail in my opinion. Any tail's a good tail, is what I always say.
True.
Thanks, Donuts.
Yeah.
I was
I
about
love big
maybe
tails.
five
me
minutes away
too.
from breaking down.
Okay, do you mean that for real, Ivy? Do you like big tails?
Yes, I have tons of characters with big tails. I mean,
Yes.
Ivy's tail is slightly bulbous because it like makes it a bigger shape, better for
Right.
hugging and all that. But
It's
like
slightly
also like
bulbous, darling.
my new persona, whose name is Synergy, that I've like been really attached to, has a like an even like rounder tail because it's meant to be more kind of like. And I just like I live for it, man. Also, like every fursuit I've had is at a floor dragger.
Yeah,
Except for
that's
one.
awesome.
Ugh, I love floor draggers. I used to have one.
I love floor draggers. They're such a bitch to clean, but like it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I am a big tail. I mean, look, man, I have like a whole bunch of Slugcat OCs, and Slugcats are like 50% tail. So
yeah,
like,
they got that big fang. I've seen that.
like I love tails. I think that big tails are like a every furry design is enhanced with a bigger tail.
I agree. And a lot of people, like Banjo's question kind of was leading with. I think a lot of people presume that because I like big tails means that I don't like smaller tails, or like will put them down, and I don't. Like, I think, in all honesty, those are fine too. I just like them.
We like all tails here. All tails are welcome in the BARQcast HQ.
I think one day humans will have tails. I think give it enough time.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think the actually more accurate statement is humans used to have tails, like a day that already passed, humans had tails. I think it's now fair to say that humans probably, there's no reason for us to have tails. So if you're somebody who, believes in evolution, I think that it kind of
no reason. What do you mean? There's every reason to have a tail. Are you kidding?
Well,
That's
I mean,
where we're headed.
okay, I get what you're saying, but like evolutionary, like adapting to our environment, I just don't know if that tracks necessarily.
No, we're still evolving, okay? And we may not be physically evolving, but we're psychologically evolving to better contend with this, new era of horribleness that we're subjected to constantly. And I think in order to contend better with that psychologically, we're gonna need tails.
I think ethics holds science back. What do I mean by that? I mean that we have, think about this.
All right, man.
We have the capabilities. Hold on. Okay. Let me finish. We have the capabilities to literally make furries in the real world. We can literally do that. Science and biology and all that entire world to a very small level. The molecular world is our domain. We have the power to influence that in so many ways. And ethicists would put forth that making alternate humans and genetically modifying humans is wrong because think of the implications. I thought about the Rammies, okay? I thought about the ramifications, and I think wolf people walking alongside real people, just like Zootopia, would be ideal. I think that's an ideal world that we should strive for, and I'm tired of pretending that I don't.
Okay,
although on a fundamental level, I agree with you that, it would be cool to make humans into furries and we have the power. The last time that humans tried to play God, it ended World War II. So I don't think that we should try to play God anymore.
But we could.
Banjo.
We don't have We don't have to put in a bomb.
Banjo's Banjo's one bad point away from backing eugenics right now.
No. I do not support eugenics. I hate it. Hey, if you know me, you know I'm so anti-eugenics. I probably hate it more than anybody you've ever met. But I do want furries to be real, so.
Bro, he's starting to sound like a U.S. politician, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This guy,
You really should run for president. You'd be great.
I mean, maybe.
Look, I'm not saying the arguments being made against me are bad arguments. I'm just choosing to ignore them, and my opinion is better.
And if you hate me, you hate what everybody should stand for.
Yeah, my vote, Banjo.
That's what I love about some politicians. It's just they turn every problem that's against them into everybody's problem. So say for example they are getting say they're getting sued or they have some legal problems or they say they broke a window and they're getting flack for that. They're well, this is everybody should be able to do this. It's it's horrible. I can't believe they're coming after me for this. And I think that is how the furry fandom is going to get science so-called ethicists off their back and be able to prosper. And tying back into what I'm talking about,
I think I get what you're saying. I'm pretty sure that you would call them members of an ethics committee. I know is a longer phrase than ethicists, but ethicists makes it sound like they're sorcerers, but I don't know if I would call someone who works in ethics an ethicists. Because I don't know, it just feels like the wrong word to use for that. It's it'd be trying to think of an analogy here. I feel like it would be calling a race car driver a racist.
Yeah, there we go.
We could call them scientific members of the scientific moral agents of the scientific community. Is that better for you? Does that work better?
I think it's better than ethicists.
So AKA furry future gatekeepers.
Yes. Furry future gatekeepers.
Yes.
Dude, furry gatekeepers. Oh my god,
this is the last thing I'll say on ethics holding science back.
Okay.
I do think that if I was born as a wolf person, I would be much happier with my life.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think that if I was, I think that if I didn't have 20 people in my brain that aren't me, I would be happier too. But we can't always get what we want, huh, buddy?
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Am I right? Am I right?
I have to share this body with other people. You know what that's like, dude?
I don't.
How am I supposed to enact my evil plans if other people
well, you got like 20 people on your team already.
Some of these people just want to eat their popsicles and then like fuck off. But I want to fucking how am I gonna take over the tri-state area?
You know how powerful you'd be if you're able to hone in all like 20 people to on like one idea and go through with it, dude. You got a whole like team up there.
It'd be like that one movie where like the Scarlett Johansson, I think, is the main character. Like she fucking like is able to unlock 10% of her brain.
Oh, Lucy? Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, like and it's like, oh, the power humans hold is immense, and I'm just like, no, I honestly, man, like I think that like if we unlocked more of our brain percent, as people call it, we wouldn't be smarter, we would just be dumb faster. Like that's my interpretation.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna become Omni-Man. Like instead of being like in I don't know, man. Like I don't have a good analogy to this, but like you would become stupid faster.
I think that in many cases perception guides reality, and I think that perception can be more important than objective reality. And that is to say, I think that the human condition is naturally guided by the limits of our neurology. So I think the idea that if we were to unlock, 10% more of our brain or 20% more of our brain or whatever. Well, first of all, I think that furry should be real. Have I said that yet?
Yes.
Okay. So I just think that we should lobotomize half the population at random, actually. Now I'm changing my view. We should do that.
Crazy
that
thing
went
for
like real fucking
yeah, I thought about it
fast.
I thought about it. See, I had to factor in greed, and then when I did that I changed my mind. So I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you, Banjo. The
7 deadly sins. Dude, honestly, it's crazy how it all goes back to religion. And I've decided that I'm no longer going to be a furry musician. I'm not going to make furry music anymore. I'm not going to make furry videos. I'm going to become a Christian YouTuber.
Christian YouTuber.
Okay,
become a furry zealot.
Can you preach for us for a minute?
Guys, I need you guys to put your finger on the screen right now, okay? Put your finger on the screen.
Okay,
I need you to hold it there.
Okay.
The devil doesn't want you to know this, okay? You have to keep watching so we can help dispel the devil together.
Okay.
Guys, the devil wouldn't want you to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to tell you the truth about what God wants you to hear.
Whoa.
What I need you guys to do is to hit that like right now. Give me a heart.
Okay.
I'm tapping it. I'm tapping the screen.
We're gonna get.
Give
We're
me a
gonna
galaxy
get
on
called
TikTok.
We're gonna get called disgusting. I posted a meme earlier on Twitter that said the Pope is a puppy boy, and somebody said this is disgusting. How dare you? The sanctity of our institution has been challenged. So I'm like scared to make jokes about institutions such as
Dude.
Religious orders.
They can't hurt you. You know who you should be afraid of? K-pop stans.
Yeah,
that's true.
No, please, no.
Sorry, 1 second.
Guys, Stan Ivy, Stan Ivy, Stan Ivy. That's my prayers. Stan Ivy.
Now, Ivy, what if you became a K-pop star?
That would
I'd hate that. That would be awful. I'm like not even joking. I don't want to like. Okay, specifically, I don't want like stan culture to be like a part of my audience. Like, admittedly, I am very aggressively like, I like denounce what I consider to be shitty behavior very often. And one thing that I cannot stand is people basically treating like celebrities like they are someone they know personally. And that's a huge part of like K-pop stan culture. And like just kind of in general, like projecting their expectations onto the person. Like I'm like, that is an absolute no-go for me. Like I am whatever you think I am not that, man. Like I am a character. Ivycomb is a character.
Yeah.
Like I am mostly the same, like in terms of my humor and things off stream and like out of my content and my music that I am in it. But like there are key differences. I have a different filter, and like although I'll talk about my hobbies and stuff on my like streams and my videos, I don't actually really reveal much about my personal life. Like there's a lot of my personal life that I keep behind closed doors because I don't want it to be intermingled with my like my content and whatnot, because like it's
Real.
Yeah.
the biggest problem when you are like a personality on the internet, especially a multifaceted one like I am, like people project their ideal version of you they see from your content onto you. And I always try to make it clear, like, I am a flawed individual. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And like, when you put these perfect expectations on me, no matter how good of a person I actually am, I'm always going to disappoint you, no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter whether you see me as like a pretty okay person or as like the messiah that's here to save the fandom or however you put it.
He's
like,
back. It's Ivy.
Like I'm a relatively average person that like is good at making music and is sometimes like, I think I'm funny. My friends think that I'm really funny, and I choose to trust them. So, you know, like it's I can't speak to that. Maybe I'm like I like to think that I suck the fun out of the room and then I like re-eject it, you know? Like it's kind of like it's a form of like I'm like a soul snatcher. You know? I'm here to steal your soul.
Okay.
Like, I just steal the funny part of it, and then like I regurgitate it out. I vomit out funny, and so like it's just this whole thing of like, don't remember that the content creators and Twitch streamers and YouTubers and musicians are not people that know you personally, and like to be frank, most people in that position don't want to know you personally. I love my fans. I am not interested in personally knowing most of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm interested in having like a conversation, and like if I meet you at random, like I'd love to talk for a while and hang out. But like,
Yeah,
I have friends. You know what I mean? And like I don't. Honestly, the thing that you learn when you're in this kind of position, and I feel like Donuts might be able to reciprocate this. I'm not sure. Like I don't want to speak for you. You can tell me like if this is a hit for you or a miss for you. But like I find that for me and most of the people I've talked to about this, like it's being a content creator makes you appreciate your actual close friends you have a lot more, because you realize how fake a lot of people are like in this industry. And
Yes.
it's like it's just a whole thing of like I want real human connection, and I like working with other like VTubers and whatnot. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that like someone who I've collaborated with is my friend. If we don't actually consider each other to be friends, then like I'm just like, we're acquainted, and like, you know, we're good acquaintances. Like we're on good terms, and like
it's like co-workers.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like potentially being friends with this person, but like I feel weird saying I'm friends with like there's a few VTubers I've done stuff with, and like I'm not actually friends with them because like we don't have any personal relationship outside of when we've been on screen together. And like a good example of this would be like when I've been on the Whiskey Dingo game shows, you know what I mean? Like I literally don't think I'm friends with any of the people I've been with on those, except for like 3 people, because they're the only 3 people I talk to outside of like stream stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's not that I don't like those people. It's that we're not friends. There's no friendship. We're well acquainted, and we get along really well. And like, they're cool people who I'd love to hang out with more, but there is no friendship happening. It's like, I would love to get to know some furry content creators more, but I just like I'm antisocial, and and I think a lot of us are antisocial and socially awkward, and like I don't know, like you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's some people who's, you know, other content creators in our circles who like I've been in their videos or I've been on their stream, but not for a long time. And sometimes people from their community will come into my community and they'll ask me, they're like, "Are you still friends with so and so?" And it's kind of a hard question to answer because it's like we're really ever, yeah, it's like we weren't really ever friends. It's like we're just like colleagues, you know. I guess is the word.
No, like I've been asked that about you actually. Like some people have like, "Oh, are you friends with OK Donuts?" And I'm like, I mean, Donuts and I like know each other, and like, I don't think like I think you probably feel the same way. I wouldn't consider us to be friends because again, you and I have never really like talked much. However, like every interaction I've had with you has been pleasant, and I would be willing to do more stuff with you if it would interest you. Because again, like you're very chill, and I've had the good interactions with you.
You know what? Like, I think the like from an outside perspective, I think the problem you run into is people often conflate the idea of somebody saying so directly, "I don't consider us friends," with the idea that you don't like that person.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's
no, like
have that assumption.
And like I'm very grateful because I've said that many times in my community, and so my viewers are very attuned to that and know that I mean it at face value. But I totally get that, and I get anxious about it sometimes because, like, again, even right now, like from the interactions I've had and from what I know, I like OK Donuts. I think OK Donuts is some pretty OK donuts, if you get what I'm saying. And like I like, you know, like we vibe, and like every time that we've been on a stage together or been in each other's presence, I felt like there is a good vibe, and it's like it's positive. But again, I've only ever spoken to you in groups, like even right now, you know what I mean? So it's like it's just not enough to like actually call it a friendship. I mean, look, guys, it would be kind of like going to a Starbucks and you have a conversation with the same barista every day. It's like you two know each other, but you have a conversation once a day at their work, and then you move on. Like you're not friends. Like it's you would have to like do something outside of those hours for it to be a friendship, and it's like there's nothing wrong with that too. Some people I think worry that like there's a problem with that, and it's like, nah, dude, like it's chill. We're vibing. Like you don't always need more than good acquaintanceship. I think that like that can sometimes be very valuable too. It's I forget what the philosopher's name is, but there's a guy who like studies human connection, and he talks about how like he believes that platonic friendships are more valuable than actual romantic relationships are. And like it kind of ties into that because like there are layers of friendship and like relationship, and it varies from person to person to an extent, but at its core, the reality is that like we like knowing that we have people to back us up and like hang out with people, but also you're
talking about Plato.
I think so.
I think it's Plato.
Is that why they're called Platonic?
Yeah, actually, that is why they're. Oh, yeah, that is why they're called Platonic.
Whoa.
That's a good observation, Donuts. Yeah, no, Plato was the one who thought that.
See, Banjo's philosophical.
Not to cut you off, I just had a brain blast.
BMW. Do it for the sport.
Oh.
But yeah,
sorry, I looked at Donut's model and like it just made me think of the BMW.
Am I the BMW logo? Is that what I look like? I see.
I'm someone who's very like.
I can see it.
Like closed off. Like I like to keep a very small circle just because it's like I can't really handle talking to too many people at one time if I'm being honest. Which
me too, man.
Which can like lead to people like getting the wrong idea, but like you can like I don't know. It's kind of tricky to navigate just because perception is often like something that's like it would be so nice if everyone had the same perception, or like if perception was like universalized, but it's just so like dynamic and like confusing at times.
No, exactly. Well, and like it's also the thing of like sometimes one-sided, like, and this has happened to me personally, so I'm very familiar with this. Like there are times where sometimes like you'll consider someone a friend, but they'll be more interested in getting like a close friendship with you than you with them, or vice versa. And so that can kind of like feel a little bit shitty, not because anyone's done anything wrong, but because like if you want to be closer friends with somebody, but like they don't want to be closer friends with you, that can sting a bit, and it can be hard to accept that. But like also is important to accept those kinds of things, because then you can use that focus of I want to this friendship to feel close and valuable. Use that on the people that you already have a close connection with. I mean, like I think that goes a much longer way. And it's extremely imperative human connection, like large.
I like long snout. Ivy.
What's up?
I like long snout Ivy.
I'm perfect. I'm a good boy.
Yeah. I think all that's a very mature way to like think about the content creator fields, just because it's like it's so complex to not. Yeah.
Can I say something on what you just said? I wouldn't even say it's the mature way. I would just say it's like the correct way.
Well, yeah. It's just not a lot of people like view it that way, which is the problem.
Yeah.
Didn't I do it for you?
For you.
Yeah.
Do it for you.
Yeah. Oh, to all our audio listeners, we're all going into 0.5 mode, and we're.
Dude, this is the new iPhone 17 Pro Max.
I have no idea how to even do that on this program.
What program are you using?
I'm using Vinian.
I have no
Onion?
idea. Oh,
Yeah,
Vinian. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
It's in here somewhere. I just gotta look for it. There's a lot of sliders.
Man, I need to go back to making Banjo VR content. Remember when we used to do that a lot, Harry?
Yeah.
Like the doorbell video.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I
like
was part of
Banjo,
it.
like,
It was great. We should do
hello?
more.
We should do more. I like that.
Hey Google, set an alarm for 4 a.m. please. Thank you.
Why are you waking up at
4
4 a.m. and can I?
Oh no, I'm just hoping that like it sets someone's Google off while they're listening to the podcast.
That's
Oh.
evil.
Alexa, call mom.
Well,
Dude,
Hey
it
mom,
reminds me-
your child's listening to a furry podcast.
reminds me of a streamer that what's it called? He never actually knew his parents, and someone in chat redeemed like, hey Google or hey Alexa, call mom, and it was like, I couldn't find anyone in your contacts named mom, and the guy is like looking at the camera like he's like, guys, you don't know, and then like it says that, and he starts dying of laughter, and chat is like mortified about it. Like he was a good sport about it. He thought it was funny because they didn't know, but like the chat went from like lots of jokes to like everyone being like, oh no, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and it was just like, holy shit, man, like what a way to like unveil that.
Yeah, that is. Ooh.
If I was
God.
a YouTuber, I would have made a YouTube video very dramatically and titled it "There's something you need to know about me" to unveil that. There's something we need to talk about.
Dude. Oh, yeah, I want to bring up something because I have the autism in my body and I need to let it out. And it's like I want to say that one thing I find really interesting about the fandom, and it's part of why I like it so much, is there are so many niche communities within the furry fandom that are also like, you know, part of that, the larger version of that community. Like, for example, you know, the most obvious is like art furry, like Tumblr art furries and art furries in general. Like those are probably the biggest, most obvious subgenre. But like for me, it's things like the musician furries. There are a lot of musician furries, like genuinely. And there are a lot of car furries, which is my favorite subgenre for no reason in particular. I like cars and I want more people to talk to about them. Like it kind of sucks being like a furry YouTuber because like if I don't make my content explicitly furry, like it will get fewer, at least initial views.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also, I feel, for furry YouTubers, like there's like a certain demographic that watches like furry content, and you kind of have to cater to that to an extent. Like you can't just like do kind of whatever. And that kind of touches on what I was talking about earlier, where I was like, the furry fandom isn't like a fandom; it's more so just like a large conglomerate of a bunch of different niche communities that happen to have like a unifying interest in anthropomorphizing like themselves through like a persona. Like you mentioned, there's like nerdy like computer science furries. There's like alt, like kind of like grungy furries, and it's just like it's more of like, it's less of a reflection of like something intrinsic to like liking anthropomorphic animals, and it's just like sort of becoming more like of a reflection of just like society as a whole. Is the way I view it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like people bring up like, oh, what's the problem with the furry fandom, and then they'll just list a bunch of like generic problems with like culture or society that they perceive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, no, I love that though, and like one thing I will say I like too about that is that like we're getting a lot more like meetups and okay,
yeah.
Real quick tip for anybody: if you
BARQ
are hosting a furry panel at a convention or a meetup or anything, I would really suggest that more people apply for just meet and greet, like just to talk about an interest, because
yeah,
when I went to Texas Furry Fiesta, pretty much every meet was, or every panel was, guy talks to you about hobby for 1 hour, and like that's fine. I like those panels, but when every panel at a con is that, like, I want to talk to the other people that are here for the shared interest. Maybe do a 20-minute talk session and then just say, all right, now mingle again amidst each other, or like get people to come up and talk more about things. You know what I mean? Like I want to talk about my cars to people more, man. I like, and the thing is like, I don't like doing it on stream, like spontaneously. I still do sometimes, but like most of the people that come to my streams aren't there for my cars. Like, I'm really interested in cars and racing and like the logistics and the physics of it and like everything and modifications. And like, I also just like hearing about other people's vehicles that they are passionate about. And like, when I talk about it on my stream, sometimes I feel like I like these people are listening to me because they like my voice and my personality, and they could not give less of a shit about my interest in cars. Like they're like, I like listening to you talk about this, Ivy, but I don't know what's going on. And like, it's just I want my little autism circle to like expand in this regard, because like none of my friends are car people. Like I'm basically a lone car person that has no one to talk to about it, and I'm like, oh, it's like, dude, today I'm going to the drag strip after this thing, like in a couple of hours.
Oh yeah.
I'm drag racing today. Tomorrow I'm going to an autocross racing event, which is Time Attack, and then I'm going to a Fox Stevenson concert tomorrow. So like, you know, like, that's music. That's another one of my hobbies. I'm seeing my favorite musician. Like, this weekend is hype as hell. I'm so excited. But I'm like, I have so few people to talk to about these things, even amidst my friends. Like, I can talk to them, but like sometimes I don't like when I feel like I'm talking at people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk with people about these things. Like, in this case, like, if I were to tell you about the cars or about the drag racing, like, it would be interesting because you're hearing about it for the first time. But like, you're interested to learn and to hear about it from like a new perspective. And like, I imagine your interest probably ends there, which is fine. But like, that's the thing, is that it's like, dude, I want like more meets at FurCons that are for those kinds of hobbies, not just cars, but like, dude, why don't we have like taxidermy meets up at furry conventions? I'm sure that there are actually a lot of taxidermy like people in the furry fandom, because a lot of furry people like animals, like things like that. Like, there's so many ways that these can be done, and I just like, dude, I would love to go to these cons and just like unload for like a full hour. That sounds bad out of context.
Guys, I want to go to a con and just unload for a full hour.
People do that, man.
There's nothing I want to do more.
It just feels so good, dude. You know,
just can't get enough of it.
It just, I love when I'm getting to share it with the homies too. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was I loved when Ivycomb filled me up with car knowledge.
Don't get me started, okay?
Hey now. Anyways, we are past our usual stopping point here. So we can start wrapping up the podcast now, if you guys would like. You guys,
I have more time than I originally thought I would, because I'm supposed to be picking up my boyfriend and my friend from border when they arrive here, but the traffic on I-5 has been really bad, so like I actually have like basically like potentially 2 more hours.
Oh my.
So I'm like, I am in no rush personally. If anyone else has to go, I'm like not going to be offended, but like, I don't mind continuing because there's so much that we could talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Like, just usually is like 2 hours is what we go for, but like, if you guys have more topics you want to talk about, we can keep going.
I have so many things I can talk. I can talk
Dude,
about.
I feel like you got lots.
Look, man, we've gotten into the more like serious, less memey topics, and now I'm like, my brain is, my neurons have been activated.
Yeah.
Something that I would love to just bring up is I was thinking the other day, man, I wish I could talk to more furries that live like close to me, like within a couple miles.
Oh, yeah?
I realized, oh my god, I have BARQ app on my phone, the BARQ app.
No way.
And I pulled it out, and there's actually 257,000 users on there now.
Wow.
So it's kind of like really the way to meet like furries locally. And I've met a ton of friends on it. And I actually was just talking to someone the other day that I met on there. And hashtag not sponsored, by the way, but I would check it out. It's actually a really, really good resource for connecting furries.
Oh,
I do have a BARQ account. It's funny you mentioned that. I should start using that app to potentially connect with furries in my local area.
Yeah, people who love cars as well. They're probably around you.
Yeah, there you go. Filter by car interest, cars.
Yeah.
Can happen, Ivy.
Dude, I'm surprised that no one stole my username.
Ivycomb.
I thought about it, but I decided.
I mean,
not to.
I'm sure that if I had like reached out to you guys and been like, "Hey, like someone is impersonating me, and I have the handle," like, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah,
but
we would have handled it.
But nobody had Ivycomb, so I was like, oh well, I guess I'm Ivycomb on at Ivycomb on BARQ.
Yeah, because the handle system came out pretty recently. It's like what? It's been like 4 or 5 months since it came out, so it's still pretty new. So there's a lot of
for
good
BARQ
names.
5 months ago.
Yeah, that was like right when the handles started coming out. So I got Harpy. I was thinking of getting Dragon because I was a Dragon at a time, but I should have gotten Goat because now I'm a Goat. It would have been so cool to have the @Goat. But missed opportunity.
Can't get Goat. Somebody probably.
I'm gonna take care of that.
Goats.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure they're not Goat anymore. Let's
Donuts,
just say I have my
get
ways.
At Big Tails.
I already got OK Donuts. I was happy with that.
Solid.
At Big
I like,
Tail.
dude. I'm such a freak about usernames, and if I can get like a really short username, I almost always take the opportunity to do so. Like I like my preferred username anywhere I can get it is Ivy. Like my Discord server handle is just Ivy.
Damn.
Which I got before I was even partnered with Discord. Which, by the way, bring back the partner program.
Yes,
Discord.
dude. I was so close to joining it, and then I got rid of it.
It's yeah, no, I'm like I love Discord as an app, and like I love what it has allowed us to do, but like I have personal criticisms of them that I've like talked about at length, and like it's, despite being a Discord partner, I've been a very vocal critic of Discord.
Good.
And like I have several friends that work there, and they also share a lot of my sentiment. Like one thing that's been made clear is that like Discord is, you know, it's a very large company. There's a few hundred people that work there, and like a lot of the people don't necessarily agree with all the changes that get rolled out. Like it's like any other company of its size. There is bureaucracy that happens, and so it's like. And the other thing too is right now Discord is moving towards a public IPO, so everything is in the interest of raising their IPO. So you know,
right.
basically, end shitification is hitting Discord, baby.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
That's already been happening.
A few years
man.
back, I have a lot of experience dealing with Discord directly through like a pretty major game studio, and a few years ago they were super receptive. It felt very indie. It didn't feel very bureaucratic at all. They were very communicative and open. And nowadays it's just like, yeah, you can tell they're getting ready for an IPO. It's so sluggish, and like, oh, it's just so much worse on that front than it used to be. And like, I don't know, honestly, it just makes me worried because like my Discord mobile app barely works anymore, and I feel like every other week I'm seeing like a new monetization feature they're introducing. So it just makes me wonder about like the future of Discord like as a platform.
Android users be like,
yeah, the BARQ team uses a lot of Discord for internal communication, and we're already discussing like going an alternative, like with an alternative platform, or making our own form system or something, because like Discord
rest in peace,
I
Skype.
think that's entirely fair.
Oh, rest in
rest
peace,
in peace,
Skype.
dude. No, like I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like I think that in the next year or two, we're gonna see another company pop up that was like how Discord was when it first came out. That is going to like, people are gonna go like, oh, it's like how Discord originally was, but like with a couple of features that we wanted from like X platform. It's like, it's better. And then everyone's going to start flocking to it slowly in the same way they did from Skype. And like, people will still use Discord like they did Skype, but like gradually it'll become the main thing. Like, it's a cycle, dude. The only things that have avoided that cycle have pretty much been like Twitter and YouTube. Genuinely. Like, and even then, like, you know, Blue Sky is actually kind of starting to take over now. So thank God, because I like Blue Sky a lot more. But like, how do you take on YouTube? You can't. They're backed by Google.
You can't.
The only way YouTube is getting taken on per se is if Google gets broken up, and that's part of the breakup agreement, like as a monopoly.
Yeah, which I don't think that's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure that Google will like abuse any loophole they can to make sure they still have YouTube.
Yeah, I think high or hell water, Google is keeping YouTube. Like, I think they might lose Chrome, but I think they're not. They're like, YouTube's gonna be okay with Google.
Some of the companies that have put in bids for Chrome are like, yeah, I foresee Chrome dying as a browser the minute that one of these companies buys it. If it's like, I think that if a few companies got their hands on Chrome / the Chromium project, like, it wouldn't be a big deal. But like, if, what was it? I forget which company it was, but there was one company that was interested in it that like, if they were to have bought it, I'm pretty sure that people would have like, I think it was Yahoo. If Yahoo were to buy Chrome, like, Chrome is gonna be dead in a year. Genuinely.
You know, this is a bit of like, oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, one of the main reasons a lot of people use Chrome is for its integration with Google services. And
exactly.
Like, the minute that you can't sign into Google anymore and sync your stuff, like, oh, and also, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Chrome has already lost a considerable amount of market share since they the ability to install uBlock Origin and like, because they went hard against ad blockers. When I got my new computer in April, I didn't install Chrome. I installed Firefox, which I've never used Firefox. I've been using Chrome since 2009.
Yeah, same.
I genuinely, Google can go fuck themselves for wanting to like tell us how to use the internet. Like, here's the thing, man. I get it. You got to make money off of ads. There are tons of people that are complicit with ads. I am not. And I am like, I'm sorry. The internet is not safe to browse without an ad blocker. Removing it is making your browser less secure. Like, seriously, go fuck yourselves, Google. I'm not fucking dealing.
I think that, okay, so just to go back to the whole Chrome thing for a second, I have a kind of radical viewpoint that, like, if you don't have any perception of nuance, it could sound bad, but I think there is some benefit to, like, monopolies and, like, centralized systems. Prime example being Chrome's integration. I think that for the end user, that is like that's just a great experience. Having everything connected to one Google account is great for users. But obviously, you know, it becomes a problem when they're using that power to completely stifle either innovation or extract consumers who have nowhere else to go, money from consumers, unfairly who have nowhere else to go. So, I just wish that Google. I just wish that there was some sort of like perfect system. I don't know. There's so much opportunity for perfect systems to exist, or like near perfect systems, and it's just like I think AI just needs to take over everything at the end of the day, because humans are always just gonna ruin everything they touch.
Whoa, Banjo.
I think we need to submit to our robot overlords, and I think the sooner we accept that, the sooner that we can all prosper.
I mean, like, I think that they had us in the first. I can't say they had us in the second half, because like the second half is how you closed it, but like the first half was like, I agreed, and then the AI thing came in, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
All right, Banjo.
All right, buddy. Let's put. All right, Grandpa. Let's put you back into the casket.
Hey, I need to take over.
Get you back into the
casket.
Like, my personal thing is that, like, I agree with you. I don't think that monopolies are inherently problematic. The issue is the anti-competitiveness that tends to come with running a monopoly. Like, if Google and all these companies were in a vacuum and we're just like, you know, oh, we're just doing our own thing and it's really good, but you can use anyone else, it would be fine. But they don't do that. They buy up smaller competitors to make sure that they still remain on top. And that's really what antitrust law is for. Because, like, if you legitimately become a monopoly because you just offer the best product for the best price and you are actually benefiting consumers, that's great. There's not a problem with that. The problem is when you are using malicious tactics to ensure you maintain that money or to gain it in the first place. Like that really is the big problem. So it's like, that's why, you know, there's issues with like the whole thing with there is a serious conflict of interest, for example, with like Elon Musk being a government official by technicality and also running a company that receives funding from the government. There is a huge conflict of interest there. And like, it's that is not the only example, but that was the one that came to mind first. And it's like, that is bad. You shouldn't do that because you are taking advantage of your situation in a way that other people don't have access to in a fair market. And that makes it a not fair market. And it erodes trust. And like, that also applies to tech companies and Silicon Valley. And like, it's basically the TLDR is we should just have furries run everything because they're like better.
Yeah, you know, like, by the way, welcome to the finance cast. You know, there are legal monopolies like utility companies because the barrier to entry is so high. It makes sense to just like sort of replace like that whole antitrust system with like just government oversight, which by the way is far from perfect. But it almost makes me wonder if there's like a case where it would make sense to have a similar system for like large tech corporations, but it's the barrier to entry is so much lower, so I think that it's like it's not necessarily transferable, but it's definitely like there are cases where monopolies can work for society.
I agree, but also I want to bring up like the stupid side of it again real quick because I want to say, okay, who here drives? Like, who here drives and or owns a car?
I drive.
I use my paws on the steering wheel. And I go,
okay, so if you guys don't mind sharing, like, what do you pay for your car insurance? What car you have, you could share if you care to, but I want to know because I want to share with you why a government, like basically like a government sanction / forced monopoly can be a really bad thing sometimes. So what are your guys' insurance rates for your cars, if you don't mind sharing?
See, I have no clue because it is my parents' car.
Wow! Look at this motherfucker up here.
And I haven't crashed it before or anything, so I haven't
freeloader
needed to.
I remember that. That was no. I did the same thing. I lived it up while I was still under my parents' insurance.
Yeah, dude. Like it's some like old 2004 Lexus. Like I don't really. I don't know.
So as a secondary driver, like realistically in the States, in most states, you're probably looking at anywhere from $70 to $200 per month for your insurance as your principal. That's like what you're probably looking at.
Okay.
And I live in British Columbia, in beautiful British Columbia, which by the way, like I love the province I live in. However, BC has a lot of government services that are functionally, they actually are great and like they're wonderful services. However, there are some caveats. BC Hydro is our electric service. It is government run. Fortis BC is government funded but not government run, and it is a natural gas company, the biggest in BC. The one I want to talk about is ICBC. ICBC is the Insurance Corporation of British Columbia. It is not the International Chinese Bank of something. It is the other ICBC. And ICBC in Canada is the only insurance company in British Columbia that can insure any motor vehicle. To be clear, you can get additional coverages through third parties, but you are required by law to have insurance through ICBC if you drive a car, motorcycle, truck, anything that is legal on the road. You have to have ICBC coverage. You have no choice. There is one upside to this. You guys might be aware of the fact that some insurance companies won't insure certain people. Like you can be denied insurance. ICBC doesn't have that policy. ICBC will literally insure anyone that is legally in the province. If you live in BC, you are insurable as long as your license isn't suspended, obviously. But it is mandatory you face serious criminal charges for not having it, etc., etc. Anyway, the point I'm getting to is there is a monopoly here. ICBC is the only insurance corporation in the province, and you have to have it. Their rates are the highest in North America by a wide margin. Most people's insurance on average for vehicles that are around 20 years old, so like mid 2000s vehicles, most people that are under the age of 35 are looking at insurance premiums monthly. Like the payments are basically around $250 to $400 a month.
Woof.
I drive a vehicle that is considered a Class 98 vehicle. What does this mean? It is considered to be an ultra luxury vehicle, which it is not, but it is considered that by tax law. An ultra luxury vehicle. That's part one. Part two is that it is less than 3 years old, which makes it in that class. Because if it was more than 3 years old, my premium would be less than half of what it is, genuinely. The third, it is an ultra high horsepower vehicle. My insurance premium monthly on my daily driver is $908.
Wow.
That is not okay.
That's nuts.
And
not okay.
For the record, I have 0 at-fault accidents on my record. I have no active like traffic violations. I used to, but I don't anymore because they expired because they're several years old.
What would happen if you had like a bunch of accidents? It'd be like crazy. Even more
if I had,
crazy.
so I was curious about this. I would probably be looking at around $1,500 a month if I had one at-fault accident on record.
Oh my.
Because like the thing is it's like the reason is that ICBC mandates that cars that are in this class have full coverage protection and everything. So like basically, if I get into a car accident, they will pay out the full value of my loan, and I will be able to get a replacement car. So like it's beneficial to me, but like in a vacuum, yes, it makes sense. It's an expensive vehicle, it's higher risk, but like generally a lot of other insurance companies will insure those cars for much lower rates because they have like rate balancing. ICBC doesn't do rate balancing. They do risk balancing per class, which sounds great until you want to buy like any high power car, any luxury car, or like a supercar, thing, which like I get it. That is a very small portion of the population. However, not everyone that wants to buy like a funny car is super rich. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I just really like cars, right? So I wanted to have, I was able to get into a position to afford my dream car, but I had to budget for like a third of my budget for this car going into the insurance for at least the first 3 years. Then it's going to go down to like $350 a month. Like that's still insane, is it not?
Yeah.
I'm going to be paying 30 grand over the next few years in insurance. Like, it's fucking insane, man. And like, it's, you know, like, sure, you could pose it as like, oh, well, Ivy, you should be grateful you're in a position you can afford that level of car insurance on your funny mobile. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I could have afforded it sooner if it weren't for the insane insurance premium, man. Like, it was a fucking huge purchase decision that took me years to work towards. Like, it wasn't just some like little thing. And that's why I think that like a monopoly can be good, but in some cases it's bad for reasons you wouldn't really expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, there are some benefits to the private insurance industry. Like, you know, rates that are based, more competitive rates. And I think that, how do I say this? So as a Canadian person who's been there, do you think that it's like, is it that high because is it just like, are they not looking to make a profit, or are they just basing it purely on risk, or like what do you think the factors are that contribute to that the most?
No, I mean, like, they are ICBC funds like other government programs.
Oh, so it
So
is
like
for
they
profit.
yeah, it is for profit, but it's for profit to benefit the province. And like the whole thing is that ICBC is a good insurance corporation because it is extremely heavily regulated. Like they literally will what's it called? You know how some insurance companies will try to like basically not pay out the full amount, like they'll be huge assholes about it, and like
Oh my god,
they'll also be like
terrible.
they'll give you a large runaround. I've had 2 accidents on ICBC. Both times I had my not at fault verdict in under 24 hours, and they cleared my deductibles right away. They're like, good. And they like there was no hassle at all. It was the easiest, most pain-free insurance thing I've ever had in my life. Like you pay in the ICBC because it benefits the province, and when you need to use that insurance, you are going to get your money's worth. It is good insurance. But I still think that the rates are kind of insane sometimes. I should not be paying $900 a month for it. Like, dude, even if it was like a fucking Koenigsegg or a Bugatti or a high-end Ferrari, that's an absurd insurance rate. Like, I'm sorry, but like that is insane.
Yeah, it's a lot.
See, so all you gotta do.
And by the way, if anyone is curious, give me a second, Harry. If anybody's curious, $908 is about like $600 USD from Canadian
Yes.
USD.
Yeah. Well,
Canadians typically don't have private. No, we don't have private health insurance. We have provincial.
all you gotta do is just become president, and then you just fix everything.
There you go.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to I'm going to mandate that everyone drives a right-hand drive manual car from now on. We're importing all BC vehicles from Japan. If you can't drive manual, you're getting killed on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Being put to death. Speaking of the president, guys, I got a dip, but thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Donuts. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Donuts.
Yeah, it was nice to talk with you again, Ivy. I'm sure I'll hit you up again soon. We'll talk more.
Hey,
Yeah.
Whoa,
hey,
whoa.
hey, Donuts. Hey, Donuts.
Donuts and I
Yeah,
are
what's
gonna
up?
start our Twitter beef tomorrow. We're
Okay.
gonna have like
Twitter
really big
bloggers are
Twitter
coming?
beef, and
Yeah.
Donuts.
What's
Don't
up?
be a
Like,
stranger. Oh.
You're getting better. You're getting better. Keep it up. Keep practicing.
One day I'll do it.
All right,
Yeah.
take
Yes.
it easy, Donuts.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, guys.
Peace out. Yeah, chat. If you guys haven't already, go follow Donuts. It's OK Donuts on Twitter and like probably everything ever. But yeah, I think now we probably should start wrapping up. We are almost at the 3-hour mark. I think this is our longest episode yet now. So
I just want to say I could do autistic rambling about generic and broad sweeping societal discussions forever. But I do want to make a pizza soon.
oh,
that's kinda where I'm at right now.
Banjo. Well, if you need to go make your pizza, we can start wrapping up here.
What do you think, Ivycomb?
what?
Can I call you IC?
I don't know if he likes that.
No,
We're gonna
no,
kill.
no.
I'm gonna kill this guy,
No.
chat.
Don't get angry. Don't get angry.
Now, let's not get feisty here.
ICB. Ivycomb B. Get it? It's like because I see a B.
This guy.
So, what did we learn from today's
What the fuck
podcast?
happened?
I learned that. What happened, Harry?
Sorry, I was just Ivy's
I learned
head
that-
just.
Oh yeah, it just does that sometimes.
Okay.
I learned that insurance companies are evil and they charge too much money in Canada, and you should move to America because they're much better over here.
Yeah, so I know jack shit about insurance, so. Anyways, okay. Ivy, before we start wrapping up, do you have any last final words of wisdom for chat?
I want to say that it has been a pleasure being here. I didn't know what to expect because I like, well, just frankly, like, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. This has been an interesting conversation to have. I've had great fun. It has been more. I guess you were right when you like made the tweet and you're like, it's gonna be a chaotic one. It sure was. I mean, like, you probably looked at my content and were like, oh, this is gonna like be an interesting podcast episode, isn't it? Gonna be like.
No, I just spoke to you for 5 minutes.
I saw a bit of your content. I'm like, I think this guy would be cool to have on.
I just want to say, I think it's funny that the beginning of this podcast was like random, like off the rails meme stuff, and then the latter half is just like talking about the implications of monopolies and how they can benefit and harm society.
That's how it usually goes.
I think we started off like kind of like serious like show and tell. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah,
and then it went off the rails, and then it went back to like serious conversation, and it's like. But like it kind of just felt like one of my Twitch streams to me, because this is exactly how my Twitch streams go actually. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joshing you, man.
That's awesome.
It's been fun. I would look, man, if for some reason like you ever want to have me on an episode again, like let me know. This has been fun.
We're always looking for rotating hosts like
if
Donuts
by
was.
some miracle I ever get back on this.
Yeah, we'll talk to our people, and our people will to your people, and we'll
Okay. Yeah, you guys will have to speak to my corporate managers.
Yeah.
Speak to HR.
It's the whole thing.
Unfortunately, my lawyers have told me that I've said too much, and I'm going to be taken out to the back of a shed and shot in the back of the head after this podcast.
Sometimes my lawyer spanks me with a really big spoon.
What?
And it makes me really uncomfortable.
Do you giggle?
I giggle a lot, actually.
That's the correct response.
Stop it. I pay his retainer every month, and he's always like, did you pay my retainer? I'm like, yes, Mark. And he slaps me with the spoon.
Guys, the rails.
Sorry.
We gotta stay on.
We're just too much. We're just too
Stop
much.
it, Banjo. Stop it.
You know I can't do that, Harry.
So chat, if you guys haven't already, please go follow Ivycomb everywhere. Is that just your handle everywhere? Just Ivycomb?
My handle is Ivycomb, pretty much everywhere. It's at Ivycomb on Blue Sky, on Twitter, on YouTube, but also at Ivycomb Music on YouTube. If you want to listen to my music,
And
Instagram, Tumblr, everywhere, and on BARQ too.
And on BARQ, come like me on BARQ.
Like I have Ivycomb on every social media platform that matters.
Oh, you're so lucky, dude. You're so lucky.
Dude, what's even more fucked up is I actually found out that like my persona's name is Synergy, and like nickname is what is it, Cinny or Sin, and I was able to get the Minecraft username Cinny.
Damn.
Which is crazy.
What? That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
See, I'm always a big fan of having usernames that are like just like one word or like simple, like no like, like numbers or underscores, just like blank, as little as letters as possible.
You ready to hear something upsetting? I have the Minecraft account Vow, like take a vow, like just Vow.
What?
And it is inaccessible because of the migration thing.
No.
Because I didn't migrate it. So I've unfortunately lost Vow to time, which makes me so mad because it's such a good username.
Yeah. Dude. Damn.
If I were you, I would just honestly give up.
Yeah, I honestly I've thought about like just simply like saying it's time to end it all.
It's over. You can't have the username.
That doesn't have to mean death. Giving up can look like a lot of things.
No, I just meant like
Ron,
I was gonna go into the hills. You know what I mean? Like the
lay
DS
down.
hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my cousin Ron, he just like sits on the couch, and I'm like, dude, you gave up a long time ago. He's like, yeah, I did, and I leave his house pretty shortly after that. But yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. Anyways, chat, that wraps up episode 11 of the BARQcast.
Yay!
Featuring Ivycomb. Thank you, chat.
Guys, everyone say thank you, Ivycomb.
Everyone say thank you, Ivycomb.
Everyone say it. Say it.
We
thank
always
you,
have
Ivycomb.
cheese.
We really like you.
Look, everybody eats the cheese.
Hell yes. And then thank you again to Donuts, who tragically is not here with us anymore.
I am now become meme.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey guys, it's me, OK Donuts. I like big tails and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
Can you put Ivy in the OK Donuts square for a second?
Yeah, okay. Let me
No. Oh, wait, hold on. I can simulate OK Donuts perfectly. You ready for this?
Okay. Wow.
Hey, hold on, wait. I gotta make myself like. Where is it? Hey guys, it's me, OK Donuts. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome.
Donuts.
Why
You're
does he
back.
talk like a? Why does he talk
from
like an
Brooklyn.
Italian mobster?
That sounds like donuts. Dude. I don't know what you're talking about. That's like
welcome to my Fortnite Let's Play. We're gonna have a great time, everybody. I'm OK Donuts. Yep.
Dude,
and I approve this message.
Oh my God, what is going on with my?
No wait,
Dude.
hey Donuts, what is your most controversial opinion?
Oh.
I think that we should ban everyone under 21 from all conventions, not furry conventions, all conventions.
Whoa. Okay.
We should
donuts.
ban if you're under 21. I don't want to see you in public. It'll be on site, and I'm not joking.
I'm not messing around.
So
Dude.
I'm the
I'm
new
not kidding.
OK Donuts holographic DLC, by the way.
You're okay, seizure.
Yeah. Look at you. Awesome. Okay. Rails.
Oh, I just want to say, when I was in middle school,
Oh my God.
I spent about 2 weeks with a friend rewriting the entirety of the Hamilton musical to be a Minecraft parody, and I performed it for at least 8 hours over like the summer in front of people.
The rails are gone. Thank you for sharing that, Banjo. That's an amazing send off.
I love music, and I think that music is beautiful. Everybody should express themselves through music. That's my final message.
I
Thank
agree.
you, Ivycomb.
Final
Thank you,
message.
RB. Thank you, Donuts.
All right.
Guys, be more musical today. If I can leave you with one thing, it's to be more musical.
In chat, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right?
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me. Goodbye, everybody.